Chapter 27. When Zhou Fu entered the city, it was already dark and the streets were filled with orange lights. I didn't expect this place to be so lively at night. During the day, the streets were deserted and there were not many people. When night fell, it became lively. It was not inferior to the trading market in the East City during the day. Sure enough, nightlife is the way to go. Rumble, rumble, the sound of hurried hooves accompanied by the sound of rolling wheels sounded. Zhou Fu jerked the reins and made way. Bang! Mud splashed everywhere. Not far from Zhou Fu, there was a small puddle that the carriage's wheels had just run over. Damn it! Are they in a hurry to be reincarnated? Looking at the mud spots on his trousers, Zhou Fu was no longer in the mood to enjoy the night scenery. He gently touched the horse's belly with his heel, and the little mare quickened her pace. This Zhou Ji really knows how to enjoy life. He booked a courtyard and has someone to take care of his daily needs. This guy is catching up with me. After asking a few people, he came to the courtyard where Zhou Ji lived. He walked up the steps and was about to knock on the door when the wooden door opened a crack. At the same time, two men's voices came from inside. Second brother, we're rich this time. Yes, this is simply a meal given by God. It's the kind of big fish and meat. Who would have thought that we could meet a fat sheep while we were eating? Fat sheep? Outside the door, Zhou Fu's heart sank. Could this fat sheep be Zhou Ji? The people inside the door continued. Second brother, why don't we go have some fun? You have money? Ha. That kid just dropped a jade pendant. It looks pretty good, like it's worth a lot of money. Jade pendant? Let me see. Here, second brother. Don't let the boss know about this. I know. Let go. The courtyard was quiet for a while. Just as Zhou Fu was getting impatient and was about to go in, the voice sounded again. This Zhou. Could it be the Zhou of the Zhou family in Heong? If so, it's a bit troublesome. What's so troublesome about it? The Zhou family knows that we robbed them. They didn't even fart. Smack. Shut up. Second brother, you hit me. Enough. Let's hurry up and leave. Today's matter is a little big. Retreat. Oh. Zhou Fu stared at the wooden door. The footsteps inside were getting closer and closer. Just as the footsteps approached the door, the qi and blood in his body instantly boiled. Streams of force gathered under his feet, and his right hand clenched into a fist. Creak! The wooden door opened. A dark face was revealed. Who are you? Zhou Fu grinned. Guess. Bang! His energy exploded, and a powerful force rose from the bottom of his feet and poured into his right arm. Boom! Two figures rushed into the courtyard one after another. Bang! The first figure crashed on the ground, his body trembling nonstop. Second brother. At this moment, there was another person standing in the courtyard. Under the moonlight, one could see a strong silhouette. He was very tall. Quick, run! Second brother. After confirming that the person on the ground was his second brother, the strong man roared, Bastard! You dare to hit my second brother! I'll beat you to death. Before he could finish his sentence, the burly man suddenly rushed over, and his thick right arm smashed down like an iron rod. Before the opponent's attack landed, Zhou Fu felt a gust of wind blowing over. Good timing. His eyes lit up. Ever since his physique had been constantly strengthening, he had always wanted to test the limits of his strength, but he didn't want others to see it, so he had been suppressing it. Now that he saw someone who could hit with such strength, he instantly felt his blood boil. Mountain splitter. Step and punch. From bottom to top. Boom. Two fists collided. Zhou Fu's body shook violently, and he took 2 steps back. The strong man was in a worse state than him. He was sent flying 5 steps by Zhou Fu's punch. After landing, he stabilized his body with difficulty and covered his right hand as he cried out. It hurts. While you're sick, I'll take your life. Blade step. Zhou Fu rushed in front of the strong man in an instant, and his right fist smashed towards the strong man's ribs. When the strong man reacted, it was too late. His eyes flashed fiercely. I'll fight with you. I'll beat you to death. He swung his left hand violently, and it swung towards Zhou Fu's head. Crack! Bang! Zhou Fu's punch broke the strong man's ribs, and the huge force sent the strong man flying again. Even so, he couldn't dodge the attack. His head sank, and the strong force of the opponent made him fall forward. Damn, I'm dizzy. Shaking his dizzy head, Zhou Fu walked to the strong man. At this time, the strong man had lost the ability to fight. The strong man spat out blood. When he saw Zhou Fu walking over, he opened his mouth, but no words came out. Cough, cough. Who are you? The person who was sent flying by Zhou Fu with a punch spoke. After Zhou Fu confirmed that the strong man had lost the ability to fight, he walked over and smashed his fist again. Don't worry, let's go in and talk. After adding another punch, he dragged the two of them into the house and closed the door to the courtyard in the room. Zhou Fu looked at the two men who were beaten up by him and asked, Tell me, who are you? Cough, cough. Brother, is there any misunderstanding between us? Zhou Fu raised his fist. My patience is limited. Be honest with me. I'm the one who's asking you now. Tell me, who are you? Black Wind Mountain, Erhu. Erhu pointed to the strong man who punched Zhou Fu and said, This is Sanhu. Then do you have another one called Dahu? At this time, Sanhu spoke with difficulty. Oh, our big brother, boom. The door that was closed earlier made a loud noise and instantly shattered into a pile of wood chips. I'm Dahu. How may I address you? A one-eyed man in a brown coat walked in. There was a hideous scar on his exposed chest, and his whole person exuded a ferocious aura like a beast. Big brother, big brother. Dahu glanced around and saw the miserable state of his two brothers. He turned his head to look at Zhou Fu. Good boy, how dare you hurt my brothers? Wu, a cold light fell into his hand. It was a long knife that was 3 fingers wide and had a blood groove on it. Whether there is a misunderstanding between us or not, you must die today. Kill. The long knife in Dahu's hand chopped down, and Zhou Fu hurriedly dodged. Seeing Zhou Fu dodge, Dahu didn't care and grinned. Boy, Grandpa won't let you die so quickly. Dahu turned his wrist, and the sharp blade slashed through Zhou Fu's clothes. This was his best skill, the starting move of wind-chasing blade, and also his proudest move. Stab! Zhou Fu only felt a cold light flash in front of his eyes, and a cold air scraped against his skin, and a big hole was opened in his chest. After he dodged, a layer of cold sweat appeared on his forehead. F***CK. This guy almost gave me a thoracotomy. After dodging the blade, Zhou Fu quickly retreated, grabbed the stool next to him, and threw it at Dahu. Dahu didn't dodge, and the long knife in his hand slashed down. Boom! The sharp blade instantly split the stool in half. Good boy, what great strength! Feeling the strength from the long knife, Dahu praised, but the fierceness in his eyes was more intense. Die! The long knife shook, and there was a light hum in the air, and the cold light flashed in the room. Zhou Fu, who didn't have time to breathe, saw this scene and cursed loudly, constantly grabbing the things next to him and throwing them over. Son of a b****, when I go back, I must find a weapon to practice. He reached out again, but suddenly he caught nothing. Zhou Fu's heart trembled. Damn it, there was nothing left. Dahu grinned. Boy, die for Grandpa. The knife was like the wind, and it swept toward Zhou Fu. If you feel that this book is okay, please recommend and support it. Thank you. Chapter 28. In the face of the cold steel blade, Zhou Fu was terrified. He no longer had confidence in his level 20 bronze armor art. He did not dare to fight against steel with his body. Stab. F***CK. With a moment of carelessness, another blade mark appeared on Zhou Fu's body. In the current situation, the blade step had lost its effect. If he rushed forward, he would be pierced by the other party. Body technique, weapon, damn it, I'll remember. Big Tiger looked at Zhou Fu, who was struggling under his blade. His eyes were full of excitement and cruelty. Boy, keep dodging faster. He. I'll cut off your left arm next. Zhou Fu was stunned. A cold light flashed. A piercing pain came from his arm. This was the first time he had felt this pain. It was so painful that he felt the world around him begin to spin. Whoosh, whoosh. Just as he was stunned, 2 cold lights flashed across Zhou Fu's body again. The wound was very deep. It was so painful that his scalp twitched. Zhou Fu's painful expression stimulated Big Tiger's emotions. He shouted excitedly, "Ha ha ha! Boy, feel good! Feel good! Ha ha!" The severe pain tore at Zhou Fu's nerves. His reason had faded. In addition to the pain, there was the fear of being surrounded by death. "I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I've been stabbed. I'm bleeding. I'm going to die." The surrounding air seemed to have turned into an airtight wall, connecting the sky and the ground. It was slowly but firmly squeezing toward him. "I don't want to die. I don't want to die." There was a saying that was true. If a person was on the verge of death once, then he would cherish life more. At this time, blood vessels crawled all over Zhou Fu's eyes. "It's you who should die. It's you." Boom! A large amount of qi and blood exploded in an instant under extreme emotions. Waves of force were generated in Zhou Fu's body. Blade step. Impact. Boom! The ground beneath Zhou Fu's feet instantly crumbled, and countless tiny pebbles flew everywhere. The sudden change alerted Big Tiger. His expression changed drastically as he waved the long saber in his hand. The saber wind weaved into a saber net in front of him. Just as the saber net was formed, a figure rushed in. Die! Zhou Fu's body was cut open by the gleaming blade, but he could no longer feel the pain. He only wanted to kill the person holding the blade in front of him. Die! Big Tiger's face changed dramatically. He flipped his wrist and held his long saber horizontally in front of him. However, he had no chance. Zhou Fu slammed into Big Tiger with a huge force, and then he rushed to Second Tiger and Third Tiger, who were watching the show on the ground. Not good. Big brother. Big brother, boom. Crack. The four of them instantly rolled into a ball. Poof. The long saber in Big Tiger's hand had fallen. He had just lifted his upper body when he felt the qi in his chest tumbling, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Zhou Fu was like a madman. He suddenly turned over and rode on Big Tiger's body, raising his fist and bombarding down. Boom! Boom! Die! 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 In Erhu's eyes, his big brother's intact upper body was smashed little by little, and then turned into a bloody pulp. When the demon slowly stopped, his big brother's chest and above had disappeared, leaving only a pool of bloody, sticky substance. Ghost! Ghost! The shrill cry alarmed Zhou Fu. He turned around and looked at Erhu. At this time, Zhou Fu's eyes were red, and he was delirious. When he saw Erhu lying on the ground and constantly retreating, try to get away from him, he roared, "You deserve to die! You deserve to die!" He suddenly pounced on him. Erhu's face changed drastically. He didn't want to die, and he didn't want to die like his boss, without a complete corpse. "No! No! Don't come over!" No matter how shrill he screamed, it was too late. Zhou Fu was riding on Erhu's body, and his heavy weight made it difficult for the other party to breathe. "No! Don't! I know where that person is, I know." But the reply was still the same. "You deserve to die." A huge fist smashed down on his face. Erhu closed his eyes in despair. "No!" Whoosh! A wooden plank flew toward Zhou Fu's right hand, trying to block his fist. Zhou Fu suddenly turned around, and with a wave of his right hand, he shattered the plank. "Brat, wake up!" The person who came in was the Zhou clan's guardian, Wang Feng. After Wang Feng entered the room, he was also shocked by the situation before him. He didn't know that Zhou Fu would be so ruthless. But when he saw Zhou Fu's eyes, he instantly understood. It turned out that he had fallen into a demonic state. Falling into a demonic state meant that when one's emotions reach an extreme, their body would erupt with a powerful force, and their consciousness would start to lose consciousness. Only a strong will would be left to control the body. Zhou Fu stood up and turned toward Wang Feng. The blood and qi in his body surged, and a surge of strength rushed to his limbs. Wang Feng was so angry that he laughed. "Oh, brat, you still want to exchange moves with me?" Zhou Fu was expressionless. Wang Feng stretched out his hand. "Come, let this daddy see what you've learned recently." Roar! Zhou Fu roared and stepped forward, arriving in front of Wang Feng in the blink of an eye. Wang Feng's eyes lit up, and he praised. "Good. Looks like your movement technique is pretty good." He raised his hand and flipped his palm, blocking Zhou Fu's punch. Boom! Impossible. The huge force instantly forced Wang Feng to take 2 steps back. He looked at Zhou Fu, who had pounced on him again, in shock. Is this kid possessed by a demon? How can he be so strong? Since that's the case, this daddy won't hide it anymore. He twisted his body and brushed past Zhou Fu's arm to dodge the punch. Then, he twisted his waist and slapped Zhou Fu's right shoulder with his right palm. Bang! The domineering palm directly sent Zhou Fu flying. Seeing Zhou Fu stand up again, Wang Feng's expression became serious. He put down his playful attitude and prepared to see how strong this brat was. Again, although a person in a demonic state was delirious, their reaction speed and attacks were much stronger than usual. Zhou Fu roared again. He stepped forward and attacked with his palms. At the same time, a heavy aura appeared around his body. This time, Wang Feng was really scared. He exclaimed, F***CK. Stone Palm at advanced level? He even managed to cultivate inner strength. Seeing this, he didn't dare to let Zhou Fu use it anymore. He was afraid that Zhou Fu's body wouldn't be able to withstand a rolling stone palm. On the other hand, he was afraid that his heart wouldn't be able to take it. This was too scary. Even a genius couldn't be this strong. He remembered that he had trained hard for half a year and only managed to cultivate inner strength under the guidance of his master and senior brothers. Kid, let this old man have a good sleep. Wang Feng's body suddenly disappeared. When he reappeared, he was standing behind Zhou Fu. His right hand grabbed Zhou Fu's neck. His right hand shook, and Zhou Fu fell to the ground like a toy without electricity. TSK. So scary. I used 70% of my strength to knock you out. Comparisons are odious. Then, he turned around and looked at the dumbfounded second tiger and third tiger. The smile on his face had disappeared. The two of you, it's late. Come to my house and rest. Chapter 29. Zhou Fu opened his eyes. In front of him was the familiar ceiling, the familiar wooden bed, and Wang Feng. Yo, you're awake? I thought you wouldn't wake up until nighttime. The sinister smile and gloating tone left Zhou Fu dumbfounded for a moment. What happened? I just woke up. What's going on? Zhou Fu, who wasn't used to being stared at by an old man, turned around and was about to get up. Ouch, damn it. An intense soreness spread from his waist. This feeling was very familiar. He almost thought that he had returned to the days when he was practicing his ancestral skills. Ha 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 ha. The arrogant laughter echoed in the room, making Zhou Fu's face darken. How much hatred did this guy have for him to laugh like this? Uncle Feng, it's not that bad. Wang Feng was overjoyed. He came to visit Zhou Fu early in the morning because he wanted to see this scene. Last night, after he exchanged 2 moves with Zhou Fu, his hand hurt for half the night. He was so angry that he wanted to beat Zhou Fu up. Now that he had seen what he wanted to see, Wang Feng was satisfied and prepared to leave. Kid, take care of yourself. Zhou Fu took a deep breath until his entire back was swollen. Dong, dong, a clear pulse came from his shunshu point, and a warm current flowed out from there. Phew, this feeling was like masturbating. Zhou Fu sighed in his heart. He then looked at Wang Feng and asked, Uncle Feng, what happened to me? Wang Feng explained, Do you remember the fight you had with someone yesterday? Of course. How could he not remember? I remember part of it. Looking at Zhou Fu's depressed expression, Wang Feng smiled. It's good enough that you can remember part of it. Yesterday, when you were in danger, you suddenly turned into a demon. Luckily, I found out early, or else you would have been crippled. Turned into a demon? Crippled? These 2 words almost made Zhou Fu think that he had used the sky demon disintegration technique. Uncle Feng, what do you mean? This question made Wang Feng think of some unpleasant scenes, as well as his hand that had been hurting for half a night. What do you mean? In other words, you unleashed your body's potential in an extremely dangerous situation. What you're experiencing now is the after effect of unleashing your potential. This explanation made Zhou Fu instantly understand. Wang Feng was worthy of being called a veteran. However, this explanation wasn't concise enough. He should have just said that his body had been emptied. That would have been more direct. Understood. Well, if you understand, then have a good rest. I'll come and see you in 2 days. Wang Feng took 2 steps toward the door before he stopped. He was still a little worried, so he turned around and said, "Don't try to be brave. It won't be good if you end up with an illness because of your age." Yes, I understand. Don't worry. Wang Feng nodded, turned around, and left. After leaving the house, Wang Feng felt that he had forgotten something. He stood in the yard for a while and suddenly remembered that he had not asked Zhou Fu about the Rolling Stone palm. Oh, I almost forgot to ask such an important question. Could it be that I'm really getting old? He turned around and walked toward Zhou Fu's room. The door from before was not closed, so Wang Feng walked in directly. He walked around the screen in the living room, and just as he peeked out half of his head, he saw Zhou Fu's strange state. He was shocked by what he saw. This is... Just as Wang Feng walked out of the door, Zhou Fu began to take deep breaths. Every time he took a deep breath, there was no more breath left in his body. Dong! The pulse of the Shinshu acupoint was strong and powerful. After every breath, Zhou Fu could clearly feel that his body had recovered a lot of strength. Damn, what's going on? Zhou Fu was also confused by this strange situation. He quickly opened the Flying Immortals auxiliary interface while his body was still in the state of deep breaths. So it's the eternal spring energy. After every deep breath, the cooldown of the eternal spring energy on the auxiliary interface would be reduced by a few minutes. Huff, huff, after 10 breaths, Zhou Fu sat up. Although his back was still sore and weak, it was not as serious as before. When Wang Feng saw this scene, his face darkened. He thought that Zhou Fu did not listen to his advice and insisted on showing off. He lifted his foot and was about to go in and teach this disobedient kid a lesson. But just as he lifted his foot, he suddenly realized that Zhou Fu was not showing off. His body was rapidly recovering. Oh my God, is this kid really human? In the bedroom, Zhou Fu, who was sitting on the bed, took a deep breath. His chest quickly swelled up, and then he slowly exhaled. After repeating this more than 10 times, he could already walk around. Eternal spring energy. What a great eternal spring energy. Zhou Fu's eyes were full of surprise. This bug-like recovery was really an eye-opener for him. If I had this good thing back then, I could have... His surprised expression suddenly froze. He remembered that the little lowly who gave him this technique seemed to have been living in Gue Xian brothel. It doesn't seem so strange. Zhou Fu stretched his back and felt an indescribable comfort all over his body. After last night's battle, his martial arts had improved a lot. If he continued at this speed, after 3 or 4 more battles, he would be able to level up again. Just as Zhou Fu was about to grin, a voice shouted out before he could. Good boy. If I didn't see it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe that a person who overdrafted his physical strength could get out of bed so quickly. This voice startled Zhou Fu. He looked at Wang Feng and said with a wry smile, Uncle Feng, I was almost scared to lie back down again. Wang Feng did not care about Zhou Fu's teasing. He walked to Zhou Fu's side and was about to reach out his hand to check, but he felt that something was wrong. He asked, Boy, do you mind if I check your body? This question made Zhou Fu want to hit someone. Being asked to check his body by a middle-aged uncle. Although he knew that the other party had good intentions, it sounded quite awkward. Then I'll have to trouble you, Uncle Feng. Wang Feng was very satisfied with these words. Originally, he wanted to check Zhou Fu's body, but now, Zhou Fu was asking for his help. The art of words was instantly displayed. Wang Feng placed his hand on Zhou Fu's wrist and smiled. Boy, you really know how to talk. You're worthy of being your father's son. Just as Zhou Fu was about to say something, he suddenly felt a trace of strange energy entering his body from his wrist. This was internal force. He suddenly widened his eyes and looked at Wang Feng. He excitedly asked, Uncle Feng, what's this? Wang Feng looked at Zhou Fu, who suddenly became excited, and asked, What is what? What do you want to ask? It's this. After saying that, Zhou Fu raised his wrist. Wang Feng instantly understood and smiled. This? Do you want to learn? The moment these words came out, Zhou Fu felt his heart pounding. Yes. Wang Feng grinned. Of course, let's do it. After saying that, he stood up and walked out while saying, "Since young Master Zhou is fine, I won't stay any longer." When he reached the door, Wang Feng turned around and said with an annoying smile, "Take your time to think." Looking at Wang Feng's disappearing back, Zhou Fu opened his mouth and finally spat out, "What a cheap expression." Chapter 30. Over the next few days, Wang Feng witnessed Zhou Fu's stubbornness and shamelessness. Every day, Zhou Fu would appear in Wang Feng's small courtyard at certain times. He had a flattering smile on his face and asked about Wang Feng's well-being, as if Wang Feng was the one who was injured. Then, they would chat about their daily lives while inquiring about cultivation techniques. After 3 days, Wang Feng couldn't take it anymore and wanted to slap him. "Uncle Feng, have a taste. This is a chicken stewed with 100-year-old wild ginseng. Fruit trees are used as firewood, and it's simmered over a small fire. It took a full 4 hours to finish stewing." Wang Feng looked at the small porcelain bowl in front of him. From the looks of it, it was definitely not cheap. According to Zhou Fu, it was taken from Zhou Sai's collection. The thing in the porcelain bowl was even more extraordinary. The hen was the redhead golden feather chicken from the mountains. It was known as the walking ginseng. Needless to say, a ginseng that could enter the Zhou clan's treasury could not be bad. "I say, am I the one who's injured, or are you the one who's injured?" Zhou Fu, who was questioned by Wang Feng, wasn't embarrassed at all. Instead, he replied, "Uncle Feng, this is all from your nephew's good intentions." Wang Feng sighed helplessly. Good. It's good intentions. It's good intentions. Tell me, what do you want so that you won't bring trouble to me?" Hearing this, Zhou Fu's eyes instantly lit up. "Uncle Feng, listen to what you're saying. I just want to know if I can learn the skill you used the other day." Wang Feng rolled his eyes in response. Wang Feng said, "Don't bite off more than you can chew. You have to be realistic and learn the rolling stone palm first." "I need the rolling stone palm as a foundation to learn that thing? What do you think?" Zhou Fu was speechless. If he knew, he wouldn't have to chase after Wang Feng like a dog. No, he wouldn't have to chase after Wang Feng. Also, with the support, why would he need to worry about the technique? Wouldn't that be a slap to his face? Then, "Uncle Feng, what level should I reach?" Wang Feng pondered for a moment. In fact, his cultivation techniques were all passed down from his previous sect. Later on, he left the sect due to some matters, so he was in a very difficult position now. "Well, I'll have to at least master thick earth force first." "Thick earth strength? Is there anything special about thick earth strength?" Wang Feng was very patient when it came to martial arts. He explained, "Thick earth force is the power of the earth. A palm strike would have the support of the earth's power, making the palm strike heavy and more powerful. That's what I want." This mysterious explanation made Zhou Fu a little confused, but he did not dare to interrupt the other party. Wang Feng raised his hand and pressed down on the ground beside him. Bang! A muffled sound came from the ground, and a palm print appeared on it. After the fight, Wang Feng looked at Zhou Fu proudly. "I see." Zhou Fu stared at the palm print for a while. Just as Wang Feng had struck out with his palm, the support voice had sounded in his mind. "Ding! You have received Wang Feng's martial arts experience. Rolling stone palm proficiency increased by 500. Along with the prompt, there was also a memory about thick earth force. After looking through the memories, Zhou Fu also understood why he felt a heavy feeling when he struck out with his palm. "Uncle Feng, is this what you think?" Wang Feng was stunned by Zhou Fu's question. "Is this what you think? What? Holy shit." Zhou Fu slowly raised his right palm, and a heavy aura came from his palm. He flipped his palm and pressed down. Whoosh, a strong gust of wind swept the ground. Wang Feng's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. Is this gene force? This was King Sirius. When he fought with Zhou Fu that night, he thought that Zhou Fu had gained enlightenment after becoming a demon. Although he was shocked at that time, it was not to this extent. But now it was not just shock, but horror. "Uncle Feng, is this what you think?" Yes. The strange expression made Zhou Fu confused. "What does this mean? You're the one who taught me. Rolling stone palm. Why are you not confident in yourself?" "Uncle Feng, is this what you think?" Wang Feng recovered from his shock. He looked at Zhou Fu with a complicated expression, but more than that, there was jealousy and envy. Yes, this is thick earth force. Zhou Fu fully displayed the spirit of not being ashamed to ask questions and continue to ask. Then why can't I make a handprint? Wang Feng did not know how to answer this question. Why? That was because he had used his inner strength. But could he say that? Absolutely not. Thus, he made up an excuse. Do you even need to ask? It must be because your cultivation is not enough. As long as you continue to work hard and train your chi into your body, you can even shatter a giant rock with your palm, let alone a palm print. Shatter a giant rock? Wang Feng nodded seriously. He pointed at the fake mountain and said, that one. He looked at the fake mountain and then at his palm. Zhou Fu sucked in a cold breath. At the same time, he was very doubtful. Was a rolling stone palm really that powerful? But Wang Feng's serious expression did not look like he was lying. Zhou Fu believed this honest man who stuttered when he lied. Seeing that Zhou Fu agreed with him, Wang Feng heaved a sigh of relief. This did not mean that the rolling stone palm was not that powerful, but that it was very difficult to train qi into the body. Could it be that he had not achieved it? Even his master had not achieved it. As for why he said that, on one hand, it was to cover up his lie. On the other hand, he had been deceived in the past. Such a good tradition must be passed down. Zhou Fu quickly recovered from his shock and asked, Uncle Feng, now that I have met the requirements, can you teach me the technique? Wang Feng's expression froze, and his heart skipped a beat. This question really stumped him. The technique is not easily taught. Yes, I understand. Zhou Fu nodded repeatedly. He had read about this from novels and movies. If you really want to learn, you have to join my sect. Okay, come on, how do I join? Wang Feng was dumbfounded again. Were all the young people nowadays so reckless? This was joining the sect and becoming a disciple. Where else would they go for lunch? Kid, this is becoming a disciple. Once you join the sect, you can't betray it. Otherwise, you will be hunted down by the sect and despised by the world. Yes, I know. Come on. Do I have to become your disciple? I will kowtow to you now. Before he finished speaking, Zhou Fu's knees went soft, and he was about to kneel down. Hey, what are you doing? This gave Wang Feng a fright. He quickly dodged to the side and waved his left hand. A gust of wind blew Zhou Fu up. With Zhou Fu's current talent, he did not dare to accept him as a disciple. Although he also wanted to find a genius, he was sure that he did not have the ability to teach a genius like Zhou Fu. You don't have to become my disciple. I will accept you on behalf of my master. Also, you have to think carefully. Yes, I have. Come on. Oh, okay, come with me. Zhou Fu followed Wang Feng to his room. There was an offering table on the left side of the room. There was a painting on the wall. It was a man who looked to be about 30 years old. This is my master, the peak master of the Heaven Yuan sect's humble peak, Li Gui Fan. Since you have decided to join the sect, kneel down and kowtow. Zhou Fu lifted his robe and knelt down. Disciple Zhou Fu greets master. Bang, 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 begging for recommendations. Begging for treasure. Chapter 31. Greetings, senior brother. Zhou Fu bowed to Wang Feng with a sneaky smile. You little brat. Zhou Fu's smile made Wang Feng speechless. Before, he had a respectful expression, but now, his seniority had risen and he was even more mischievous. If you have something to say, then say it. Zhou Fu didn't care about Wang Feng's tone at all. Right now, he only wanted the technique. Only power could give him a sense of security. Ever since he came to this world, Zhou Fu hadn't had a peaceful day. On the first day, he saw a steel blade. If it wasn't for Wang Feng's quick arrival, he would have been dead by now. Then, he was plotted against by his cousin. Zhou Fu, who had just been provoked by the men in black, was almost scared to death. Luckily, he had already used a cheat and upgraded his martial arts. Otherwise, he wouldn't have had a good ending. Also that night, the cold light from Dahu's hand almost turned him into a pile of bones. He didn't want to feel that kind of helplessness and fear again. He didn't want others to decide his fate. He wanted to become stronger than anyone else. Senior brother, now that I have a master, shouldn't you teach me the technique? Looking at Zhou Fu's expectant eyes, Wang Feng was silent. After a while, he said, I can't. Zhou Fu felt his heart twitch. The smile on his face froze. He stuttered, Senior brother, please don't joke around. Sigh. Wang Feng sighed. Junior brother Zhou, I'll let you join Humble Peak because you've trained the Rolling Stone Palm to the Ruging stage. It's also my fault. I didn't think that you would be able to train the earthly force. If you didn't become my disciple, then I could only take back your Rolling Stone Palm. Take back. At this moment, Zhou Fu felt an emptiness in his heart. He couldn't go up to the sky or down to the ground. The feeling of powerlessness spread from his chest to his back. His arms were numb, and so were his cheeks. The smile on Zhou Fu's face had already disappeared. He tried his best to make his voice sound calm. Then how can I practice that technique? Wang Feng stared at Zhou Fu's expression and felt upset. Shanzhua Peak might be able to learn it. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Silence. Is that so? Then I won't disturb Senior Brother's rest. Goodbye. When Zhou Fu stepped out of the room, Wang Feng said, Inner strength. What I used before was internal strength. Zhou Fu stopped and did not turn around. Inner force is cultivated through special training methods and combined with moves, just like thick earth force. Zhou Fu's eyes lit up. This meant that if he used the Rolling Stone Palm together with the corresponding training method, he would be able to cultivate qi. Junior brother Zhou, this is all I can say. Thank you, senior brother. Bang. The door closed. Sigh. A sigh sounded in the room. On the way back to his courtyard, Zhou Fu tried to recall Wang Feng's words. Martial arts required a training method to cultivate qi. He seemed to have seen a training method before. It was in one of the secret manuals. Eternal Spring Force. With a flash of inspiration, a vague memory appeared in his mind. He hurriedly ran back to his courtyard. Because of the assistants, after he obtained the secret manuals, he only read them once and then stopped. Now that he thought about it, he seemed to have missed out on a lot of things. Walala, Zhou Fu quickly flipped through the secret manual page by page. Found it. On the last 2 pages of the Eternal Spring Force manual, there were a total of 5 pictures. On each picture, there was a small person. On the small person's body, there was a different pattern drawn with a red pen. Beside the picture, there was a note that explained the sequence of the practice. After he finished reading Eternal Spring Force, Zhou Fu took out the other secret manuals and looked through them. Sword Steps is not here. Bronze Armor is not here. Rolling Stone Palm. Damn, it's here. On the last night of Rolling Stone Palm, there was a picture. This picture was different from Eternal Spring Force as stance training. Instead, it had the lines of the mountain splitter stance. It doesn't look like it's for training qi. It looks more like it's for increasing attack power. Forget it. Let's try Eternal Spring Force first. Zhou Fu first memorized the picture and then got into position. He thought about the notes and main points on the secret manual and slowly adjusted his body. Huff, huff, as he inhaled and exhaled, a strange feeling rose from his feet. Several small streams of heat slowly flowed through his body. That's the feeling. Zhou Fu carefully controlled the direction of the heat flow, circulating his energy in strict accordance with the route on the diagram. After one cycle, Zhou Fu slowly stopped. This feeling is not bad. My whole body is warm, and it seems like I've recovered some of my energy. This is really good stuff. After he sighed, he called out the support interface and found that Eternal Spring Force, as cooldown, had decreased a little. Other than that, there were no other changes. Zhou Fu instantly felt unhappy. You're a cheat. You can't even learn something like this. Isn't this too embarrassing for a cheat? No matter how much Zhou Fu complained, there was no response from the Fairy Realm support. After closing the support interface, Zhou Fu's excitement disappeared a lot. He thought about what happened in Wang Feng's house and felt unhappy again. Fine, I won't teach you. Damn it, without you, Butcher Wang, I have to eat pigs with hair? Next, I need a weapon. Let's go to the old man's house and see how he reacts. After leaving the courtyard, Zhou Fu went straight to his father's study. Dad, I'm here to see you. Hey, don't give me that. Tell me, what's the matter? Zhou Fu laughed and said, It's like this. Do we catch that bandit called Dao? Zhou Datsai raised his eyebrows and asked, Why are you asking this? There's something I want to ask him. Oh, is it about Zhou Ji? Zhou Fu shook his head and said, I'm not his father. I don't care if he lives or dies. Zhou Datsai narrowed his eyes and said in a deep voice, That's your cousin. Humph, the mastermind behind the ambush in the alley should be my cousin, right? And yesterday, that kid actually tricked me into going to the outskirts of the city. I treat him as my cousin, but does he treat me as his cousin? Zhou Datsai stared at Zhou Fu for a while and suddenly laughed. You kid. Fine, that Dahu is in our dungeon. If you want to go, ask Olma to take you there. Okay, you go ahead. I won't disturb you. Seeing Zhou Fu run out, Zhou Datsai laughed and said, This kid, by the way, Consecrator Wang, did Fu make you unhappy? Wang Feng's figure emerged from the shadows. He shook his head and said, No, that's good. If that little bastard annoyed you, just tell me. I will definitely teach him a lesson. No. Although he said so, in his heart, Wang Feng rolled his eyes. He sneered and said, Teach him a lesson? With your protective nature. Who are you trying to fool? Zhou family's dungeon. Zhou Fu frowned as soon as he went down. Not only was it dark and damp, but it was also not ventilated. All kinds of strange smells filled the entire dungeon. When the accompanying guard saw Zhou Fu's expression, he hurriedly flattered, Eldest young master, if you have something to tell us to do, we can do it. This place is too dirty. I'm afraid it will dirty your eyes. Zhou Fu shook his head and said, It's okay. It's just this time. Next time I have something to tell you. This time, the guard's face was full of smiles. It was great luck to be able to curry favor with Zhou Fu. Maybe they would be able to leave this damn place soon. Young master, in front is the place where Dahu is being held. Please recommend, please search, thank you everyone. Chapter 32. This was an independent cell with walls on all sides and only one iron door to enter and exit. In the room, there was a flickering light on the left and right walls, making the place seem lifeless. When Zhou Fu walked in, the guard quickly took 4 torches and stuck them on the 2 walls, making the room much brighter. In the center of the room was a large wooden frame made of high-quality ironwood. It was moisture-proof and had a hardness comparable to steel. At this time, Big Tiger was trapped on the frame. His limbs were first tied with cow tendons, then tied with hemp rope, and finally locked with iron chains. This level of security made Zhou Fu's eyes twitch. The guard held a whip in his hand and stood beside Zhou Fu. He smiled and said, Young master, ask whatever you want. I'll make him talk. Big Tiger, who had been tortured, raised his head with difficulty. When he saw Zhou Fu, he grinned, revealing his bloody teeth. Boy, it's you. You're lucky that I didn't kill you that day. Slap! A gray shadow flashed by, and Big Tiger let out a blood-curdling scream. A bloody whip mark instantly appeared on his face. The guard on the side put away the whip and said with a grim smile, Boy, if you can't recognize your current situation, I don't mind helping you wake up. Big Tiger was also a fierce bandit. Even though he was beaten to this extent, he was still full of pride. Bah, you dog. In the past, you wouldn't even dare to appear beside Grandpa. You King, seeing that the guard was about to raise the whip again. Zhou Fu reached out and stopped him. Okay, don't hit him. This person has a hard bone. It's useless to hit him. Ha ha. Boy, you have good eyesight. You know Grandpa's bone structure. That's right. Grandpa has a hard bone. Zhou Fu said to the guard, Go and prepare 5 buckets of water and a ladle for me. Yes. Although this order made the guard very confused, it was from young Master Zhou, so he had to strictly carry it out. Big Tiger sneered, What? You want to drown me? Zhou Fu shook his head. No hurry. Humph, show me what you've got. Grandpa, just you wait. Not long after, several guards came in with the things that Zhou Fu wanted. Young master, we've brought everything you wanted. What should we do next? Zhou Fu asked, Can this frame be put down? The guard nodded and said, Yes. Thus, under Zhou Fu's command, the Imperial bodyguards placed Big Tiger down. Its body was slanted, its head was lowered, and its feet were raised. Young master, it's done. What should we do next? Zhou Fu waved his hand and said, Go out and guard outside. Don't come in without my permission. The guard froze for a moment, then nodded and said, All right, I'll be right outside. If you need anything, just knock on the door. Shouting won't get out. Zhou Fu was stunned when he heard these words. He immediately understood that the guard wanted to say that this place was very secluded and that no one outside could hear. All right, I'll get steward Ma to reward you later. Thank you, young master. Please take your time to ask. If you need anything, just let me know. Bang! The iron door was slammed shut. Kid, if you have any tricks, just use them. If Grandpa frowns, I'm your grandson. Oh? Really? Nonsense. Grandpa is an indomitable spirit. I mean what I say. Zhou Fu walked over with a smirk and reached out to poke the corner of Big Tiger's eye. Big Tiger was so shocked that he quickly blinked. Big Tiger was speechless. Zhou Fu was speechless. Bastard. Go F asterisk king die. How dare you play a child's game with Grandpa? Zhou Fu smiled and said, I have no choice. If I use adult means, I'm afraid you won't recognize it. Big Tiger was silent for a moment. Then he flew into a rage. Bastard, are you looking down on me? Ha ha, you're really stupid. Oof. Don't play games with Grandpa. Ask me whatever you want. Zhou Fu's face turned serious and said in a deep voice, If that's the case, I won't hold back. The saber technique you used before was pretty good. I like it. Big Tiger was stunned, then he laughed wildly. Ha ha, I see. You actually like Grandpa's chasing wind saber. Ha ha, are you done laughing? Bah, you dog. How dare you learn Grandpa's chasing wind saber? Just give up. Zhou Fu stared into Big Tiger's eyes and asked again, I'll ask you one last time. Are you going to tell me or not? Don't say once. Even if you ask 10 times, 100 times, or 1,000 times, Grandpa's answer will be the same. Then you can give up on that idea. Zhou Fu nodded. Okay, you're tough enough. Ha, Grandpa is tough. You have to remember this, kid. Whoosh, a bucket of cold water splashed him. Bah, you F asterisk king. Zhou Fu splashed a ladle of water on his face and then took off his coat to cover him up. He scooped out another scoop of water from the bucket and looked down at Big Tiger's struggling body. The expression in his eyes was very complicated. Brat, you'll die a horrible death. If Grandpa comes out, I'll chop off your limbs and F asterisk CK you to death. Zhou Fu's eyes suddenly glared, and a murderous aura emerged. Good. You're stubborn, aren't you? Whoosh! A scoop of water splashed him. Whoosh! As the cold water continued to splash, Big Tiger's body twitched more and more violently, even if the tendons on his body had been strangled into his flesh, and dark red blood continued to flow out. Ugh! When Big Tiger's struggle weakened, Zhou Fu took off his soaked clothes. He looked at Big Tiger's red and purple face, and his own face turned pale. Zhou Fu took a deep breath and asked sternly, Tell me, where's the saber manual? Big Tiger responded weakly, Devil, you're a devil. The saber manual. Bah! Big Tiger's resistance once again aroused Zhou Fu's murderous aura. He swung his hand and covered him with his clothes again. Whoosh! Woo! Scoop after scoop of cold water poured down, and Big Tiger was tortured by the water torture. When the second bucket of water reached the bottom, Big Tiger gave in. I'll tell you, bang. Zhou Fu was also breathing heavily. He turned his hand and threw the scoop into the bucket. Water torture was a cruel and inhumane punishment in history. It could be traced back to the Middle Ages. It was a punishment used by religious heresy inquisitors to deal with heretics. It was not banned until the early 21st century. And now, this kind of torture had appeared in this world through his hands. It was as if a demon had come to the world. Where's the saber manual? Big Tiger quickly gave an address. It's in the box by the bed, really. Zhou Fu threw the scoop and said, I'll go get it now. If it's not there, I'll come back for you. Bang! The dungeon door was locked again. Chapter 33. East of the city. Bluestone Alley. This was the address he got from Big Tiger. Young master, we're here. Zhou Fu got off the carriage and looked at the gray and shabby door. He frowned. The door wasn't closed. Was there someone living inside? Zhou Fu came to the door and looked inside through the crack. The small yard was in full view. What's going on? Why does it look like we've been robbed? The yard was in a mess. All kinds of things were thrown everywhere. He carefully opened the door and walked in. This was a yard. Facing the door, there were 3 rooms side by side. This was the main room. On the right side of the main room, there were 2 small rooms. They looked like a kitchen and a woodshed. At this time, the doors of the 5 rooms were open. There were a lot of things scattered in front of each room. Damn, I didn't come here for nothing, right? The scene in the yard made Zhou Fu's mood a little heavy. His mood, which was not very sunny, was once again covered with a layer of haze. Is it so hard for me to find a cultivation technique? Zhou Fu's face was gloomy. He walked through the yard and opened the door of the main room. The room was not big. Standing at the door, he could clearly see the situation inside. He looked around and suddenly found a person lying on the bed. The person was lying on his side, facing inside. It looked like he was asleep. Someone was here? Zhou Fu stared at the person's back and pondered for a few breaths. Then, he quietly walked over. When he came to the bed, the person on the bed showed no signs of waking up. He turned his head and looked at the box next to him. According to Big Tiger's instructions, the chasing wind blade manual was inside. Should he take it or not? Zhou Fu was very conflicted. If he took it, he would have to capture the person on the bed. This made his conscience feel bad. But if he didn't take it, he would not be satisfied. Take it. If I don't take it, I will be punished. Zhou Fu struggled in his heart for a long time. In the end, he decided to take the saber manual. He really didn't want to feel the feeling of being surrounded by death. He wanted to become strong. After making up his mind, Zhou Fu took a deep breath and extended his hand toward the figure on the bed. Just as he was about to touch the person's back, the person on the bed moved. F***CK. The body on the bed began to tremble. Then, the tremors grew stronger and stronger. Zhou Fu was so shocked that he took 2 steps back. Bang! The man abruptly turned over, and his face fell into Zhou Fu's eyes. F***CK. Zhou Fu's eyes instantly widened, and a burst of cold air rose from the soles of his feet, rushing straight to the top of his head. The person lying on the bed was not a living person. It was a corpse. In the middle of the corpse, there seemed to be a clear dividing line that extended from the head to the lower abdomen. The left half of the line, which was the side of the heart, was badly rotten. White bones could be seen in the dark red flesh. The right side of the line was greenish-gray, and the skin and flesh were intact. What made Zhou Fu even more disgusted and scared was that black and white worms were constantly drilling in and out of the left half of the corpse. Listening quietly, there was a dense and small sound. F***CK. Zhou Fu's face turned white. This strange corpse constantly attacked his senses, and layers of goosebumps exploded on his body. The air in his stomach surged up, and a sour smell went straight into his nose, tormenting him so much that he wanted to turn around and run out. No, I have already reached this step. I must get the saber manual. Zhou Fu gritted his teeth and took off his robe to wrap his hands. He rushed to the side of the box, grabbed the box with both hands, turned around, and rushed out of the room. Bang! He threw the box on the ground and held his knees with both hands, gasping for breath. Zhou Fu looked back at the room, and his scalp tingled again. Damn, I was scared to death, but fortunately, I finally got the box. Let me see where the saber manual is. This was a dark red box, as if it had been there for a long time. The box was not locked, but there was a copper handle on the left and right sides. It's better that it's not locked. It saves me the trouble. Zhou Fu reached out to open the box, but at the moment his hand was about to touch the box, he stopped. I seem to remember that there should be traps here. It's better to be careful. Scenes from movies and TV series came to his mind, and Zhou Fu suddenly became vigilant. He found a wooden stick in the yard, shook his right hand, and the wooden stick smashed the box. The box hit the ground, the lid opened, and the things inside tumbled out. Zhou Fu opened his eyes wide and searched with the wooden stick bit by bit. Where's the book? Where's the saber manual? The box was not big, and the things inside were limited. He even looked through the pieces of cloth inside twice, but the result was not even a fart. Standing in the yard, Zhou Fu was a little stunned. From Wang Feng to De Hu, these 2 people gave him one surprise after another today. At the same time, they also let him know one thing. It was not easy to get the technique, and it was hard to find the real skill. Hee hee. This is really interesting. Zhou Fu suddenly laughed and cursed, then turned and left. After leaving the Bluestone Alley, Zhou Fu did not go home. He asked the coachman to send him to Hung Yun Casino. "Young master, you're here." The casino's manager, Liao Huan, greeted Zhou Fu when he got off the carriage. "Well, the shells in the yard are all set up." When Zhou Fu was practicing saber steps, he had broken the target in the yard, so he asked Liao Huan to find someone to make a new one, bigger and sturdier than the previous one. "Young master, don't worry. The target has been set up according to your instructions." Coming to the yard, Zhou Fu looked at the target that was bigger than before and was very satisfied. This one in front of him should be enough for him to trample on for a long time. "Not bad, Manager Liao. I've troubled you." "Young master, you flatter me. This is what I should do. If young master has nothing else, I'll go ahead and do my work." Liao Huan knew that Zhou Fu liked peace and quiet and liked to practice martial arts. Therefore, after showing the results of his task, he said goodbye. This was the professionalism of a casino manager for decades. "Manager Liao, take care." Zhou Fu was left alone in the yard. He called out the support interface and looked at the cooldown time of Eternal Spring Energy and Bronze Armor Art. He whispered, "It's better to rely on myself than to rely on others. I have support, so what's there to worry about? Isn't it just a little bit at the beginning? What's the big deal?" "Zhou Fu, oh Zhou Fu, let's keep a low profile and develop. When we have equipment and level up, we'll go out and kill them." After drinking a few cups of chicken soup, Zhou Fu's fighting spirit was reignited. Looking at the brand new wooden target, he whispered, "Do it! Mountain splitter!" Boom! The target made a muffled sound, and the small courtyard became lively again. 15 days later. "Mountain splitter!" Zhou Fu punched out. In his body, a strong force flowed into his arm, making his already thick arm even thicker. Boom! Under the bombardment of his fist, the sturdy wooden target instantly broke, and the upper half flew out. Phew! Zhou Fu opened the support interface. At this time, the cooldown time and proficiency of Bronze Armor Art, Eternal Spring Energy, and Mountain Breaking Fist were all ready. He could level up at any time. This was the result of his 10 days of hard work. "Come, prepare some hot water for me." "Yes." Chapter 34. After entering the bathroom and closing the door, Zhou Fu took off all his clothes. Looking at his auxiliary machine, he was very satisfied. "This is the dream of my previous life." After sighing, Zhou Fu used the first picture of the Eternal Spring Force. His inner chi, which was as thick as a strand of hair, began to move in his meridians. Before leveling up, Zhou Fu needed to adjust his condition, and the first stance of the Eternal Spring Force met his requirements. As for why he only used the first one, Zhou Fu had tried them one by one before. Only the first stance could condense his inner chi, the other 4 pictures did not respond, so he could only use the first stance. After circulating his inner chi in his meridians for a full cycle, Zhou Fu called out the auxiliary system and began to level up. Ding! The Eternal Spring Force has leveled up successfully. Current level, level 30. Cooldown 90 days. As the skill leveled up, strands of inner chi, which were as thick as chopsticks, entered his meridians and circulated rapidly along the first picture. Soon, Zhou Fu lost his ability to control and guide his inner strength. His eyes widened, his face turned red, and he began to panic. The rapidly circulating inner chi was like a flood that was about to break through the dam. It surged forward violently, and the momentum was still increasing. Zhou Fu felt like he was about to explode. The second picture, in desperation, an idea flashed through his mind. The other stances did not respond. Was it because he did not have enough inner chi? I had to hold on. Don't explode. Zhou Fu endured the swelling pain in his meridians and changed his posture, assuming the posture of the second picture. Boom! As soon as Zhou Fu set up the pole, the internal force that was colliding in his body found a vent. Without Zhou Fu's control and guidance, it began to rotate along the route marked in the second diagram. This made Zhou Fu feel like he was driving a car from a rural provincial road to a highway, and it was the kind that ignored the toll checkpoints. Every checkpoint in the meridians was an important acupoint. According to the eternal spring energy, every acupoint had to be carefully polished and opened slowly. Otherwise, it would be easy to lose control of one's inner strength, and the meridians would not be able to bear the burden. However, none of this existed for Zhou Fu. His surging inner strength had the aura of being able to kill anything that stood in his way. This was something that others had to be extremely careful of. However, Zhou Fu was stunned for a moment and understood everything. Bang, bang, bang. A series of noises came from his body. That was the sound of internal force breaking through a bottleneck. All sorts of sensations stimulated Zhou Fu's brain, causing his expression to become very strange. F***CK. I was almost broken by this thing. After his inner strength had passed through the meridians of his second stance, the momentum had also slowed down. Zhou Fu had also regained control of his inner strength and body. The gentle inner strength slowly moved through the two meridians, like a spring rain, nourishing Zhou Fu's body. Damn, this thing is really scary. If that uncontrollable state had continued for another 10 minutes, my family would have started a banquet today. Zhou Fu wiped the sweat from his forehead. The inner strength in his body that was originally as thin as a strand of hair had become as thick as a chopstick. He even opened up a new meridian. He grinned. Damn, this wave was worth it. At this time, the haze in his heart had mostly dispersed, and his whole body was emitting a relaxed feeling. Strike while the iron is hot. Bronze armor art level up. Ding. Bronze armor art level up successful. Current level, 30. Cooldown time, 90 days. As the voice of the support finished, Zhou Fu's body suddenly sank. His muscles seemed to have become firmer. He waved his arms and felt an endless amount of energy surging out of his body. Other than that, there was no other abnormality. Huh, that's strange. Why doesn't it hurt this time? Just now, even the gentle eternal spring force was so violent after leveling up. On the other hand, the previously violent bronze armor art had become calm and peaceful. His body had only sunk a little. Zhou Fu scratched his head in confusion. He really couldn't understand. He was already prepared to be tortured to the point of death, but in the end, nothing happened. It's a good thing that I'm not being tortured, but why do I suddenly feel a little uncomfortable? Forget it. Let's take a bath. Walking to the side of the bathtub, Zhou Fu stepped on the stool with his right foot and slightly exerted force. Gotcha! Bang! The originally sturdy wooden stool was stepped into pieces by his foot. Zhou Fu looked at his foot and then looked at the corpse on the wooden stool. He was completely stunned. No way, I didn't use any strength. What's going on? Could it be that the side effects of leveling up came again? Forget it, let's take a bath first. I'll get someone to make a sturdy one. Since the wooden stool was gone, he used his hands to support himself on the edge of the bathtub. He exerted force in his arms and was about to flip into the bathtub. All he heard was the sound of the bathtub cracking. The sturdy bathtub wall broke from the middle. Then, with a bang, more than half of the bathtub wall was completely crushed by Zhou Fu. All the warm water in the bathtub gushed out. F***CK, did I just see a ghost? Zhou Fu had no choice but to use the water in the bathtub next to him to rinse himself. After drying himself, he put on his clothes and walked out. At this time, the servants who heard the commotion outside the door were already waiting at the door. When they saw Zhou Fu walk out, they hurriedly asked, "Young master, are you okay?" "I'm fine." Zhou Fu shook his head, then ordered, "Go and find a craftsman to come over and make a pool in this room. In the future, I'll bathe in the pool. Oh yes, and hurry up and prepare food for me." After he finished speaking, he left behind a group of dumbfounded servants and returned to his room. "I'm so hungry." Zhou Fu had just sat on the chair for a while, but he felt so hungry that he could eat a cow. Even the kettle on the table had been emptied by 2 whole kettles. Zhou Fu roughly estimated that there seemed to be 4 caddies of water. He drank 4 caddies of water in 10 minutes, but he didn't feel anything. If it was in the past, he would probably have started to vomit. What's the situation? Why do I feel that something is wrong with me? Just as Zhou Fu was about to fall into contemplation, the maids came in with food. These things were prepared in advance, so it was so fast. Gulp, a loud sound came from Zhou Fu's stomach. attracting the attention of the people around him. But at this time, Zhou Fu didn't care so much. From the moment he saw the food, he almost couldn't resist the impulse in his heart and wanted to pounce on it. No, let's eat first. A rice bowl the same size as Zhou Fu's palm was held in his hand. Quang, quang. After 2 big mouthfuls, there were only some rice grains left in the bowl. More rice. The dumbfounded maid on the side suddenly trembled and quickly took the empty bowl. After filling it, she put it in front of Zhou Fu. The maid muttered in her heart, "Is this still a human? Such a big bowl of rice." And he finished it in 2 mouthfuls. It's so scary. Speaking of which, the young master won't eat people, right? Zhou Fu didn't notice the maid's look. At this time, he was going crazy with hunger. He originally thought that he would feel better after a bowl of rice, but strangely, he was even hungrier. More rice. Bang. More rice. Bang. Forget it, bring me the bucket. After 3 bowls, Zhou Fu was a little impatient. He grabbed the bucket of rice and poured the meat in the plate into it. He picked up the spoon with his right hand and stuffed it into his mouth. Young master, if you eat like this, you'll eat yourself bad." Although the maid who had already hidden away was afraid, she still reminded Zhou Fu not to do this. Zhou Fu, who was eating crazily, didn't seem to hear the maid's reminder. He lowered his head and ate crazily. It wasn't until the rice in the bucket was empty that he breathed a sigh of relief. He wasn't full, but he wasn't that hungry. "Young master, are you okay?" Zhou Fu raised his head and glanced at the maid. This glance scared her so much that she almost cried. Her legs were trembling. "I'm fine. By the way, how many people can eat in this bucket?" 10 people. Zhou Fu was speechless. He hurriedly touched his stomach. It wasn't bloated, and there was nothing unusual. Damn, have I upgraded to a rice bucket? There were 6 dishes on the table, plus a bucket of rice and 4 caddies of water from before. These things all went into Zhou Fu's stomach in half an hour, and he didn't feel full. No wonder the little maid was afraid. She was afraid that he would eat people in the next second. "Leave, I'm full." Yes, the maid didn't go forward. Instead, she called 2 people from outside the house. The 3 of them quickly packed their things and ran away as if they were escaping. Zhou Fu was speechless. "Damn, I'm not going to eat people. What are you afraid of?" Originally, there were 2 chapters a day. However, there were some things going on these 2 days, so the missing chapters would be made up over the weekend. Also, please recommend me to bookmark. Chapter 35. I feel like I've gotten heavier. Zhou Fu sat down on the stone steps, feeling puzzled. Just a moment ago, he had been lying in a recliner. When he gently turned over, the recliner had cracked open. After that incident, he no longer had any illusions that the sturdy furniture in his house could bear his weight. Zhou Fu wasn't the only one with such thoughts. Even the servants in the house thought the same. It was time for breakfast. The servants brought in a low table for Zhou Fu, who was sitting on the stone steps, to eat. The height was just right. Sigh. Zhou Fu looked at the servants placing steamers of buns on the table. He sighed in melancholy. "I really can eat more." The fist-sized meat buns flowed into Zhou Fu's stomach like water. 1 steamer, 2 steamers, a total of 5 steamers of buns were eaten by him. This made the servants standing by the side feel bloated. "How much did our young master eat?" 5 steamers. "Oh my God, how many buns are there?" There are 5 buns in 1 steamer. Each bun is 2 ounces of fillings, which is half a kilogram. Young master just ate 5 kilograms of buns. "Oh my God, shoo, lower your voice." Oh. Zhou Fu heard the whispers around him clearly. He didn't do it on purpose. Ever since he had a breakthrough in Eternal Spring Force, his senses had been getting stronger. Eternal Spring Force wasn't the only one that had undergone such changes. Bronze armor skill was the same. After waking up in the morning, Zhou Fu could clearly feel that his skin had become tougher. His muscles were also firmer than the night before. The lines on his arms, stomach, and thighs were more obvious. They were sharp and angular, and each of them seemed to contain great strength. It seems that leveling up in the future will be like this. I'll level up to the max first, and then my body will slowly adapt. I just don't know how long this change will last. To Zhou Fu, this was the best way to level up. Compared to the previous berserk mode, he preferred this kind of quiet way. His body was growing stronger at every moment. This kind of change was slow, giving Zhou Fu a lot of time to buffer. It also made it easier for him to control and use his own strength. After Zhou Fu roughly understood the changes in his body, he devoted his energy to familiarizing himself with his body and practicing his inner strength. Every day, he increased the proficiency of his mountain-breaking fist and practiced the mountain-splitting stance's force exertion technique. When he was tired from training, he would stand in a stance and increase his proficiency with eternal spring force. He could also condense his inner force. His days were filled with joy. After a few days of practice, Zhou Fu was pleasantly surprised to find that after his eternal spring force leveled up, his recovery ability had become even stronger. Training the mountain splitter caused his meridians to swell and his muscles to ache. But as long as he circulated the eternal spring force for 2 cycles, he would be fine. Moreover, the recovery of his stamina was even more ridiculous, allowing Zhou Fu to squander his stamina as much as he wanted. Of course, there was a price to pay. After all, there was no free lunch in the world. The price for this was that he could eat even more. Zhou Fu's gluttony attracted Zhou Datsai's attention. Zhou Datsai did not believe in heresy and called Zhou Fu over for dinner. He did not know the details, but the servants said that their master's appetite had decreased a lot from that day onwards. When this matter reached Zhou Fu's ears, he just smiled and immersed himself in cultivation in the blink of an eye. Time passed, and in the blink of an eye, 10 days passed. In the Zhou family, other than second old master Zhou Diyun, who was very anxious and angry because his son was kidnapped by a mysterious person, the others acted as usual. Morning. After Zhou Fu finished his morning training, he ate his breakfast and thought, my body is already completely adapted to the state after leveling up. I can now use the mountain splitter stance of mountain-breaking fist at will. The increase in bronze armor art is even more ridiculous. It's time to meet that person. Zhou Fu's eyes flashed with a hint of gloominess and fierceness. After more than 10 days of training like a demon, he thought that he would forget some things. Who knew that after training for a while, the anger that Zhou Fu suppressed in the bottom of his heart gushed out like a volcanic eruption. After breakfast, Zhou Fu asked a servant to bring him a steel knife and went straight to the dungeon. Yo, young master, what brings you here today? Just tell me what to do. The dungeon guard had changed. The guard who led Zhou Fu had been transferred to another place to enjoy his life by the head butler. This matter made the dungeon guards very excited. So when they saw Zhou Fu, they swarmed over, all wanting to leave a good impression. Seeing this scene, Zhou Fu smiled and asked, "Is that big tiger still alive?" The guard quickly replied, "He's alive, he's alive. Not only is he alive, he's living very well. Even the wounds on his body have healed." Oh, Zhou Fu's eyes flashed. This was just right. It was exactly what he wanted. Bring him up. Yes. The guard hurriedly nodded, but when he was halfway through, he froze and turned back in surprise. This, young master, you just said? That's right. Bring Big Tiger up. This put the guard in a difficult position. Every prisoner in this dungeon was not ordinary. It could be said that they were all ferocious characters with strong offensive capabilities and lethality. If they were released, who knew what kind of trouble they would cause? He did not want to bear this responsibility and risk. Go, don't worry. My Zhou clan's guardian is still in the estate. Speaking of the guardian, Zhou Fu's eyes flashed with an indescribable light. Wang Feng, who wanted to come to his small courtyard 3 times a day, had not seen him since that day. It was as if he was deliberately avoiding him. Hearing Zhou Fu's words, the guard was instantly relieved. It had to be known that most of the people in the dungeon were caught by the guardian. Since he could catch them once, he could definitely catch them a second time. Yes, young master, please wait a moment. This little one will be back soon. The guard took out the key from his waist and let a few of his followers into the dungeon. At this time, Zhou Fu ordered the maid beside him, "Go and prepare a table of food and wine. Just the normal ones will be fine." Yes. After the maid left for a while, a sound came from the dungeon. Creak as the heavy dungeon door opened. The guard took the lead and walked out with iron chains. Following closely was Big Tiger, whose hands and feet were chained and whose neck was shackled. Outside the dungeon, the sun shone down. Big Tiger squinted his eyes and took a deep breath of fresh air. "It's been a long time since you saw the sun, right?" A familiar voice sounded. Big Tiger turned his head to look. When he saw the person who spoke, he was shocked. You're actually still alive." Big Tiger paused and changed the topic. "I didn't expect it to be you. I thought I would never see you again." Zhou was not surprised by Big Tiger's words. He smiled and said, "Are you disappointed that I'm still alive to see you?" Big Tiger laughed awkwardly, but from his eyes, one could see that he approved of Zhou words. "Ha, how could I?" Both of them did not mention the sword manual, although they both wanted to know what the other was thinking. "Young master, the food is here." Two maids came in with food boxes. The guard at the side was very perceptive as he brought over a table and a stool. After the food and wine were placed, Zhou held the sword in his right hand and sat on the chair. He waved at the guard and said, "Take off the chains and shackles." "This go?" "Yes." Big Tiger looked at Zhou in surprise. When the chains and shackles were removed, he stretched his body and asked, "What do you mean by this? Are you going to let me go?" Zhou shook his head and pointed to the food and said, "Eat first." Big Tiger squinted his eyes. "You're not going to poison me, are you? Your life is not worth the money of poison." Big Tiger's face suddenly flashed a trace of anger. He stared at Zhou for a while, then nodded and said, "Okay, then I'll see what trick you're playing. Dear dads, please search for me, please recommend me. The chapters 1 will be made up tomorrow." Chapter 36. Big Tiger stood in front of Zhou and glanced condescendingly at the seated Zhou, then looked at the long sword in his right hand. He sneered, "That's not how you hold a sword." What surprised him was that Zhou, who was originally obsessed with the sword manual and had even used torture to force the sword manual out of him, was not affected at all after hearing this. Big Tiger, who was asking for a snub, snorted coldly and took a sip of the wine. Sigh. Big Tiger, who had not touched wine for more than 20 days, breathed a long sigh of relief. "This is 20 years old, right? I remember that I was fortunate enough to be rewarded with a cup by the boss. This is the second time I've tasted this. It's so good." Big Tiger narrowed his eyes and savored the mellow taste in his mouth. "By the way, are you going to kill me later?" Zhou nodded and said, "Yes." Heh. Big Tiger did not take this answer seriously. Instead, he asked with a faint mocking tone, "You know how to use a sword?" Zhou shook his head. "Stop talking nonsense. Hurry up and eat. We'll be on our way after eating." "Huh? Are you in a hurry?" "Ha ha." Big Tiger laughed for a while, then reached out and grabbed the plate. He did not use chopsticks, but grabbed the food with his hands and ate. Bam! Bam! 3 empty plates were placed on the table. They were the plates that had previously held the meat. Zhou asked, "Are you full?" "Yes, I'm full." "Then prepare to be on your way. Come, take the things away." The guards and maids at the side hurriedly stepped forward, looking at Big Tiger nervously, afraid that this ferocious man would suddenly attack and hurt them. The tables, chairs, and dishes were quickly removed. Zhou raised his right hand, and the long saber drew an arc in the air before landing in Big Tiger's hand. "Young master, not good. Go and call for help." The surrounding people were all dumbfounded. They never thought that their young master would actually throw a weapon to a vicious person who had just been released from the dungeon. Big Tiger was also stunned. He looked at Zhou and asked doubtfully, "Did you lose your mind?" Although he was puzzled, Big Tiger held the long saber tightly. His right hand rested on the hilt, and the aura of a swordsman emanated from him, swift and fierce. "Ha, kid. Although I don't know why you're being so stupid, but don't worry, I won't let you feel any pain when I kill you later." Zhou ignored Big Tiger, who was full of trash talk. He took off his clothes, revealing the tight-fitting clothes inside. He slowly stretched out his right hand and raised his finger at Big Tiger, as if he was calling for his pet. "Bastard." This extremely arrogant posture instantly ignited Big Tiger's anger. "Brat, didn't you want wind-chasing saber? Today, I'll show you how powerful wind-chasing saber is." Clang! He unsheathed his long saber and held the sharp blade in his hand. There seemed to be a cold spring flowing on the edge of the fine iron blade. Good saber. Zhou Fu looked at the long saber and froze for a moment. Although he didn't know much about sabers, even a fool could tell from its appearance that this thing wasn't something that could be found on the street. This was a F** King precious saber that had been meticulously crafted. Son of a B** Tsich, which idiot brought it to me? Can't I just take any one of them? Not only Zhou Fu, but Big Tiger was also stunned at this time. He had no idea what Zhou Fu wanted to do. Did he want to subdue him? Just when Big Tiger was in a daze, Zhou Fu suddenly rushed toward him. The strength of the saber steps exploded under his feet. His body turned into a shadow and crossed the distance between them in an instant. Mountain Splitter. The blue veins on Zhou Fu's right arm bulged like old roots, tightly entwined in his arm. Good. Just when Zhou Fu raised his fist, Big Tiger instantly came back to his senses. He flipped the long saber in his hand and held it in front of his chest. At this time, he was in no hurry to use his saber. His body also retreated, trying to distance himself. Clang! The long saber made a golden sound, and a huge force hit Big Tiger through the saber. What a strong force! He jumped back with the impact of the fist and tried to distance himself. How could Zhou Fu let him do as he wished? If Big Tiger had an ordinary long saber in his hand, he would have let it go. He wanted to test whether his bronze armor arts could withstand the attack of a saber user. But now forget it. A treasured saber and an ordinary long saber were two different things. What a F** King scam. Zhou Fu cursed under his breath. He took another step forward, and his robe fluttered in the air. Before Big Tiger could land, he appeared in front of him. Mountain Splitter. The violent fist force rushed out like a wave. Clang! 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 A series of golden sounds rang out. The horrible force and the trace of internal strength hit Big Tiger through the saber. Damn, is this guy a monster? How can he have so much strength? After blocking more than a dozen punches, Big Tiger's right wrist holding the saber was in pain. Even his right arm was sore. No, if it goes on like this, I will be killed by this little monster. Big Tiger's eyes flashed. His feet clenched the ground, and his body fell straight back. At the same time, he waved the long saber in his hand. The cold light forced back the fist. Boy, it's my turn now. He grinned. Before his body hit the ground, the long saber in his right hand touched the ground behind his head. With the force of the rebound, Big Tiger straightened his body. The long saber protected his body with the blade facing forward. Little bastard, you just had a good fight. Don't you want my wind-chasing saber? Watch carefully. Cold wind caressing willow. Big Tiger roared. The long saber in his hand bloomed with 3 cold lights and slashed toward Zhou Fu's chest. Zhou Fu stepped with his right foot and avoided the 3 cold lights in an instant. North wind roar. Woo! The rapid slash of the saber tore the air and made a whistling sound like the invasion of the north wind. At this moment, Zhou Fu felt as if he had fallen into an ice cellar. Saber step. Boom. With the surge of strength, Zhou Fu's figure quickly retreated. At the same time, his right fist was like a heavy hammer, trying to smash the long saber away. How could Big Tiger let Zhou Fu do as he wished? The saber flashed, and the saber edge with a cold light swept toward Zhou Fu's wrist. Damn it! Zhou Fu quickly retreated. At this time, he scolded the person who chose the long saber in his heart. Boy, continue to be arrogant. In this situation, Big Tiger laughed wildly. The long saber in his hand did not stop. His right hand continued to slash and instantly made several wounds on Zhou Fu's chest. Saber step. Whoosh, a gust of wind rose, and Zhou Fu's figure instantly pulled out a shadow and then stood a dozen steps away. He stretched out his hand to cover the saber mark on his chest and panted slightly. At this time, he clearly felt the gap between himself and Big Tiger, a fierce man who licked blood from the edge of his blade. In the battle, Zhou Fu's reaction speed and corresponding strategies were a certain distance from his opponent. If this continued, he would probably have to ask for help from his family. Boy, Big Tiger held his saber in front of him. His arms began to tremble, and even some of the scabbed wounds on his body burst open with blood, dyeing his clothes red. I can feel that today is the last day of my grandfather's life. I want to know if you have been to that courtyard, and if you have seen the people inside. Zhou Fu put on a defensive posture, his eyes staring at his opponent. The eternal spring energy in his body quickly flowed through his meridians, emitting a trace of warm breath, constantly restoring his physical strength. You want to know? You can guess. The first chapter was delivered. Today, I will catch up with the 5th chapter to make up for the previous chapter. Please recommend this book to those who like it. Chapter 37. Big Tiger ignored Zhou Fu's teasing and said, "Boy, you don't have to tell me. But if you tell me, I'll give you a big gift. How about that?" Zhou Fu snorted. Big gift? Son of a bitch, if I can hear the truth from your mouth, I'd rather believe that there are. Just as he was about to say there are ghosts in the world, he suddenly thought of the black-robed man he met in Gyun Temple that night. Ha ha, boy, you really went there. Big Tiger was a little excited. Didn't you meet the people inside? Zhou Fu's face suddenly changed. He had been tricked. In his anger, he had a flash of inspiration. Yes, I met them. I went with the Zhou family's consecrators and guards. Guess what happened? This time it was Big Tiger's turn to be shocked. He opened his mouth and rolled his eyes. Then he laughed. I was almost fooled by you. Forget it. If you don't want to tell me, then don't tell me. I'm going to send you on your way. Don't you want Wind-Chasing Blade? Next is the most powerful move in the Wind-Chasing Saber. Take it. Wind-Chasing Blade 36 slashes. Kill. The blade light was as white as snow, like a big wave. Zhou Fu didn't dodge. He released his right hand from his chest, and his expression was a little strange. He was a little excited and a little scared. A gust of wind blew and lifted the torn clothes. Under the clothes, there was an intact skin. What shocked Big Tiger was that there were 3 red marks on Zhou Fu's chest. If you remember correctly, those 3 red marks should be where he had cut before. What? How could it be? He was very sure that the long blade in his hand was a treasure made of fine iron. It was not much worse than the long sword in the hands of the big boss. Blade step. Mountain opening. Boom. The strength exploded under Zhou Fu's feet, and a depression appeared on the bluestone paved ground. Go to hell. The overbearing fist strength broke the air and smashed down with a powerful force. Big Tiger made up his mind. His many years of risking his life had taught him that if he was timid in a battle, the probability of death was 100%. With a roar, the blood and chi in his body surged. In desperation, all the wounds on his body burst open, making him look like a bloody man. The long saber in his hand whistled and slashed out a bright light. Kill. Boom. Fua. Young master. Just as the 2 figures collided, a mournful roar sounded from the courtyard entrance. On the field, Zhou Fu's fist ignored the incoming saber light and heavily imprinted itself on Big Tiger's chest. The terrifying fist strength was superimposed on Big Tiger's mountain splitter and instantly broke his sternum. The broken bones were like spears, piercing into his fragile internal organs. At the same time, the long knife in Big Tiger's hand slashed at Zhou Fu's body. However, to his disappointment, when the blade came into contact with his body, it felt as if it had cut into leather. Moreover, there was a force that bounced the blade away. How is this possible? Boom! The fist strength exploded. Big Tiger was like a rag doll that had been thrown out. He flew more than 10 steps before heavily hitting the ground. Large mouthfuls of black and red blood spurted out from his mouth and nose. He looked at Zhou Fu, who was walking over, and his eyes were full of struggle. Yard, that person. Zhou Fu's upper clothes were cut into pieces by the saber light just now. The strong muscles under his clothes were exposed, and there were more than 10 red marks on them. He was already dead when I arrived. Big Tiger nodded and said, "Thanks. I forgot to tell you that Grandpa is the 3rd leader of the Black Mountain Bandits. I'm down there waiting, bang." Zhou Fu lifted his leg and swept it over. With a crisp crack, Big Tiger's neck was bent at a strange angle, and he suddenly stopped breathing. Damn it, the plot in the novel is all fake. Today, Zhou Fu wanted to show off. He originally wanted to throw an ordinary long saber to Big Tiger and defeat him directly. He wanted to do this because he had the confidence. After the transformation of the art of bronze armor, Zhou Fu had tried to cut his skin with a sharp weapon. In the end, he could only cut a few red marks. That was why he had this idea. He wanted to use extreme violence to destroy the fear in his heart. Who knew that the servant at home would take out a treasured saber, which really scared Zhou Fu. Moreover, after defeating Big Tiger, Zhou Fu wanted to try the hero's complex in the novel. For example, two people could use a conversation to show the helplessness of the Jianghu and the reluctance of the Jianghu people before their deaths. In the end, he did not get what he wanted. Novels are all lies. If I still believe it, I'll be a King husky. Zhou Fu cursed angrily again. The Chinibyu almost killed him. Fua, are you okay? Zhou Datsai dragged his round body and rushed over. He pulled Zhou Fu and checked him. Fortunately, I'm fine. After checking, Zhou Datsai breathed a sigh of relief and then roared, Kid, are you crazy? You actually released the murderer in the dungeon. I heard that you let him eat until he was full. Not only that, you even took out a treasured saber to give to the enemy. Is your King brain filled with wind? The story in the tea house is enough to listen to, but you actually followed it like an idiot? Do you want to die? Zhou Fu was suddenly angered by Zhou Datsai. This was simply a scene of social death. He did not want to. Before this, the conversation between him and Big Tiger was already somewhat in line with the plot of the story. Who knew it would develop like this? Dad, don't say anymore. I'll remember it. Zhou Datsai's chest rose and fell rapidly. If you don't want to take care of me, just say it. I'll take advantage of the fact that I can still move and give you a younger brother. This time I was scared to death. Zhou Datsai took a few breaths and glanced at Big Tiger's body. He waved his hand to the guards not far away, indicating that they should clean it up. Then he said to Zhou Fu, Kid, come with me. Yes. So the two of them went to the study. Zhou Datsai sat in a chair and drank a big mouthful of herbal tea. You little bastard, provoking me so early in the morning. Do you want me to die early? Zhou Fu laughed awkwardly. It's nothing. It's... Hey, Dad, don't worry. It won't happen again. Humph. Zhou Datsai sneered. I hope so. Don't give me the chance to die young. Fu-er, you seem to want to walk the path of martial arts. Zhou Fu's face became serious. He replied, yes. Zhou Datsai was curious about his lazy son and his recent changes. He asked in a deep voice, give me a reason. If you can convince me, I will fully support you in the future. Zhou Fu's eyes lit up. Although he was the eldest son of the Zhou family, there were a lot of precious resources that he could not access. If he had Zhou Datsai's support, it would be different. At least the medicinal cuisine he drank would be of a higher grade. I don't want others to decide my life and death. I want to hold my life in my own hands. The solemn voice pierced Zhou Datsai's heart. He looked at his son who had grown from a little fatty to a strong man. He sighed. The child has grown up. Good. Since you have this kind of determination, you must persevere. If you give up, then you won't even have the chance to inherit the family business. You must think carefully. Yes. Zhou Fu nodded seriously. Zhou Datsai slowly exhaled. It's not easy for us to be merchants. It's even harder to be in the Jianghu. If we're not careful, we'll lose our lives. That's right. Wang Gongfeng was injured a few days ago and has been lying in bed for 2 days. What? Chapter 2 coming. Looking for a recommendation. Chapter 38. Father, could it be that our Zhou clan's enemy came knocking on our door? Zhou Fu was shocked by this news. The great expert Wang Feng in his mind had actually been crippled. According to the previous exchange between the two, as well as the information obtained from Wang Feng's words, Wang Feng wasn't a simple person. There was at least a sect behind him. As for whether this sect was strong or not, it wasn't clear. However, there was one thing that Zhou Fu was very clear about. No matter how weak that sect was, it wasn't something that their Zhou clan could afford to offend. Zhou Datsai rolled his eyes and said in a bad mood, "What are you thinking, brat? How could our Zhou clan have so many enemies? What's more, your father is a businessman, and businessmen pay attention to harmony and wealth." Zhou Fu only thought that his father was doing some digestive exercise and expelling some gas. He asked, "Father, can you tell me in detail?" Zhou Datsai glanced at him and nodded. 3 days ago, Wang Feng came to your courtyard and saw you cultivating. Then he came to find me and asked about the origin of your movement technique. At this point, Zhou Datsai glanced at Zhou Fu with a faint smile and continued, "Your father doesn't know anything about martial arts." After that, Old Ma said that other than your home and the gambling house, the only place you've been to was Sweet Fragrance Brothel. After that, Consecrated Wang went to Fragrant Brothel at night and was sent back early in the morning the next day. Guess what happened to Wang Feng? Zhou Fu opened his mouth and spat out. Did Wang Feng suffer from a horse stroke? Scram! Zhou Datsai grabbed the book on the desk and threw it over with a crash. I said too much. I was wrong. Zhou Fu reached out and caught the book that was thrown over. Then he walked over with a smirk and put the book back. Zhou Datsai angrily pointed at his nose and scolded, "You brat, what are you thinking about all day long? How can you say such things to a consecrator?" Zhou Datsai, whose thoughts were interrupted, was a little angry. Just now, he was almost amused by this little rascal. Consecrated Wang was still unconscious when he was sent back by a manservant from Sweet Cinnamon Brothel. There was blood at the corner of his mouth. I'll ask the doctor in the manor to come over and take a look. According to the doctor's diagnosis, 5 of Wang's ribs were broken, and the bones of his right arm and left leg were also injured. Hiss! Zhou Fu sucked in a breath of cold air. Oh my God! Consecrator Wang is still alive? Brat, are you really itching for a beating? Dad, please continue. I'll shut up. In the end, the doctor in the manor said that this kind of injury would take at least a month before he could get out of bed. It would take at least half a year for him to fully recover. Half a year? Zhou Fu quickly asked, Dad, does that mean that we won't have a consecrator in the manor for at least half a year? Zhou Datsai glanced at Zhou Fu and said, I know what you want to say, but don't worry. I won't be careless with the matters at home. Besides, when did I say that we only have one consecrator in the manor? Oh, that's good. Zhou Fu suddenly felt a lot more at ease. All right, Dad. Can I see that consecrator? Don't even think about it. Zhou Datsai directly refused. He knew that Zhou Fu wanted to go over and learn some skills, but not everyone had a good temper. This consecrator is different from Consecrator Wang. You better be careful. There are some things that make things difficult for Dad. Although Zhou Fu was very surprised and had doubts in his heart, he felt that Zhou Datsai would definitely not tell him the specifics, so he didn't continue to ask. The two of them chatted for a while. Zhou Fu got up and said, Dad, since there's nothing else, I'll go back first. Zhou Datsai sneered. You want to go to Osmanthus Brothel, right? I knew it. You go to Old Ma's place first and bring the gift before you go. You can go and make a gift for me. There's no need. Go quickly. Yes. After Zhou Fu left for a while, the butler, Old Ma, came in. Zhou Datsai asked, Did you give the gift to that bastard? Yes, master. Young master has already brought the gift over. That's good. Master, something happened to Huang Jia? Zhou Datsai was stunned and asked, Huang Jia? Yes. Old Ma's face was dignified. It's Huang Jia who took young master to Guyun Temple last time. Zhou Datsai pondered for a moment and asked, What happened to Huang Jia? Huang Jia. Osmanthus Brothel, Lotus Garden. The little lowly was curled up in the cradle like a cat. This cradle was sent over by Zhou Fu after the craftsman made it for the sake of pleasing the little lowly. After all, this little lowly was very rich. Yo, little fatty, you still dare to come here? Zhou Fu's back suddenly had a layer of goosebumps when the cold gaze swept over. He quickly smiled and said, Aren't I here to accompany Sister Yu? Hey, if it wasn't for you last time, I would have broken that old man's bones. How dare he put on the airs of a senior in front of me? How shameless he is. Just thinking about it makes me angry. Yu suddenly became angry. Her face with some baby fat looked chubby, which made Zhou Fu's heart beat faster. By the way, little fatty, what gift did you bring? Hurry up and let me see it. Oh. Zhou Fu quickly went forward and placed the box on the table in front of Yuer. TSK, so it's ginseng. It looks good. Keep it. Yuer lazily waved her hand. The maid at the side came forward and closed the lid, then took it away. Little fatty, I heard that you've been very active recently. You even caught the Black Mountain Bandit's third brother? No. Zhou Fu quickly shook his head. He didn't dare to admit this. How could I possibly catch the Black Mountain Bandit's third brother? I couldn't beat him at that time and was almost killed by him. Then it was Wang. It's that old man. He ran over and saved me. That old man is really annoying. He came knocking in the middle of the night. Hearing this, Zhou Fu's forehead was covered in cold sweat. He tried his best to control himself and not think about other things. The curve was too sharp, and the road was very slippery. Yu suddenly yawned, and her eyes became hazy. She said weakly, Little fatty, I've accepted the gift, and you've apologized. If there's nothing else, hurry up and leave. I want to catch up on my sleep. Hearing that Yuer was starting to chase him away, Zhou Fu panicked. He wasn't here to apologize. That big sister Yuer, I don't know. Without waiting for Zhou Fu to finish his words, Yuer waved her hand. No scram. Okay, although Zhou Fu didn't have much hope of obtaining a cultivation technique from the little lowly, he still wanted to try. There was always a what-if in life, right? Wait, Zhou Fu, who had just walked to the door, suddenly stopped. He was overjoyed. Could it be that things had taken a turn for the better? Or was the little lowly preparing to flaunt her wealth and then give him a martial arts manual or something? Yura looked at the suddenly happy Zhou Fu in shock and asked, Why are you smiling like a fool? Nothing. Zhou Fu shook his head. Forget it. There's something I need to remind you. If there's nothing going on, just stay at home obediently. Don't go out and run around. It's easy to get into trouble. Zhou Fu's heart tightened. If the little lowly said something dangerous, it was fatal to him. He had to get to the bottom of it. Big sister Yuer, can you be clearer? Yuer looked at Zhou Fu with a smile that wasn't a smile and said, That day, the Huang Jia who went to Giyun Temple with you was exterminated overnight. There were more than 300 people in the Huang residence. Not even a chicken was left. They were all dead. What? Their entire family was exterminated. Chapter 3. Present please search. Please recommend me. Thank you very much. Chapter 39. Zhou Fu sat in the carriage as he recalled what Yuer had said earlier. He couldn't help but sigh. The Huang clan was actually annihilated by 5 people. Mother asterisk her, that's over 300 people. Even if there were only 300 chickens, it would be a very difficult task to kill them, let alone 300 people. Young master, where are we going now? Do you want to find a place to eat first? The coachman's voice came from outside the carriage. Zhou Fu thought about it. He just left home not long ago and had nothing to do now. Why not no? At this moment, a thought flashed through his mind. At this moment, he suddenly thought of the strange corpse he saw in Guiyun Temple that night and the black-robed man. Zhou Fu was shocked. All these things were connected. Let's go home now. Yes. As soon as the carriage stopped at the gate, Zhou Fu jumped down and rushed to the study. Young master. Master is meeting a guest. When the servants in the courtyard saw Zhou Fu running over, they hurriedly reached out to stop him. But how could they stop him? As soon as their arms touched Zhou Fu's body, they were knocked away by a huge force. Bang! The door of the study was directly pushed open by Zhou Fu. Father, I suddenly thought of, who is this? At this moment, Zhou Datsai was talking to a middle-aged man in black. When they heard Zhou Fu knocking open the door, both of them turned to look. What's the hurry? Zhou Datsai asked in a deep voice. That. Zhou Fu looked at the middle-aged man and didn't know what to say. Ha. This must be the head shopkeeper's son? Although this is the first time I've seen you, I've heard a lot about young Master Zhou. Oh, he's an old geezer. Before Zhou Fu could speak, Zhou Datsai spoke first. You little rascal, hurry up and greet the Zhou family's consecrator, Wu Jianya. Consecrator Wu. So he's a consecrator. He doesn't look like a good person. Zhou Fu hurriedly bowed and said, Junior Zhou Fu greets Consecrator Wu. Ha! Wu Jianya gave a perfunctory smile and continued to say in a half-hearted tone, "Your etiquette is very good, but it's a little different from the rumors. It seems that the rumors can't be trusted completely." Zhou Datsai smiled kindly. Even if he heard others talk about Zhou Fu like that, he didn't get angry. Haha, I've let Consecrator Wu see the effect. This child is always like this, always careless. Wu Jianya glanced at Zhou Fu. He wanted to use etiquette to pressure Zhou Datsai so that Zhou Datsai would reprimand Zhou Fu and then make Zhou Fu apologize to him. However, it seemed impossible now. Zhou Datsai was very protective of his son. Since young Master Zhou is looking for the head shopkeeper, then this Wu will take his leave first. I will come to look for the head shopkeeper again in a while. Zhou Datsai nodded and said, "Then please forgive this Zhou for not being a good host. Take care, Consecrator Wu." Wu Jianya turned and walked out of the room. When he passed by Zhou Fu, he snorted coldly. Bang! The door to the study was slammed shut. This action made Zhou Fu a little dumbfounded. What the hell is this? Fu, be careful with your words. Zhou Datsai scolded in a deep voice. Then, he picked up the teacup and enjoyed the tea. Father, Zhou Datsai didn't even look up. He waved his hand to signal Zhou Fu to stop talking. After a while, Zhou Datsai put down the teacup in his hand and said earnestly, "Fu, you have the nerve to say that you are a martial artist. Haven't you heard that after practicing martial arts to a certain level, your five senses will become very sharp?" These words stunned Zhou Fu. He gave Zhou Datsai a thumbs up and said, "Brilliant, really brilliant. No wonder you are the head shopkeeper of our Zhou family. Stop flattering me. You have a lot to learn. For example, this Wu Jianya is the foreign affairs elder of the Red Sea Gang. He has a high position and power. It is natural for him to look down on you. Who told you to be so unbearable before?" Zhou Fu smiled and asked, "What is a foreign affairs elder?" A foreign affairs elder. For example, if the Red Sea Gang wants to deal with something that their own people can't solve, they need someone who can solve the problem. However, these people are not qualified to join the gang's upper echelons. If they were lower echelons, it would be demeaning for them. Therefore, there is a foreign affairs elder. Tisk, Zhou Fu instantly understood. He sneered and said, "Isn't it just a high-level fighter? You brat." Zhou Datsai was very satisfied with his son's ability to understand and react. These were all inherited from his excellent bloodline. "Tell me, why did you come to find me?" Zhou Fu's face turned serious and said, "Dad, have you heard? The Huangjia family was wiped out. There were more than 300 of them. Not a single one of them was spared." "Yes, I have heard." Speaking of this, Zhou Datsai's face turned serious. This was also one of the reasons why Wu Jianya was able to come to the Zhou family. "About that, I think I know why the Huangjia family was wiped out." "What?" Zhou Datsai suddenly stood up. He looked at Zhou Fu in shock. Disbelief was written all over his face. After Zhou Datsai received the news of the Huangjia family being wiped out, the Heong city government called all the rich merchants and managers of the families over and personally inspected the scene of the Huangjia family's tragedy. Every time he thought of the tragedy, Zhou Datsai would feel uncomfortable in his stomach. There was still a lingering fear in his heart. But now, he heard Zhou Fu say that he knew the reason. How could he not be terrified? This was something that the entire Heong city was looking for. He said in a deep voice, "Tell me everything in detail." Zhou Fu nodded. "Dad, do you remember that day when I went to the Guiyun Temple in the suburbs with the Huangjia and the Liu family?" "Yes, I do." "Is it related to this?" "Of course it is." That night, after we had all fallen asleep, a short man in a black robe drugged all of us. Luckily, the dosage wasn't too high and we all woke up. The man in the black robe was actually targeting the Huangjia. He even said that he wanted them to hand over something called the Chart of the Enlightened King. Chart of the Enlightened King. Zhou Datsai frowned. His thoughts were running wild as he tried to find any information related to this name. Yes, the Chart of the Enlightened King. It was said that Huang Haoyun got a piece of cloth by accident. There was a map in the cloth, and the map pointed to the Guiyun Temple. This was also the reason why we went to the Guiyun Temple that day. Upon hearing this, Zhou Datsai took in a deep breath of air. He was extremely frustrated right now. To think that this matter would implicate his only son. Wasn't he being King implicated by the Huang family? This was an undeserved calamity. You little rascal, don't go to those weird places in the future. Do you hear me? Yes, yes, Zhou nodded. Don't worry, Dad, I know. No matter what it was, he had to agree to it first. As for whether he would change it or not, that was up to Zhou. Zhou Datsai asked, Is there anything else? Nothing else. Okay, I know. Don't tell anyone about this. Keep in your heart. You can go back first. All right, Dad. I want to go see how Master Wang is doing. Zhou Datsai thought for a moment and nodded. It's good to go see him. After all, Master Wang saved you twice. Okay, then I'll go first. Go. Chapter 5, Fail the Challenge He. Chapter 40. Zhou Fu came to Wang Feng's courtyard. He stood at the door for a moment and recalled some of the things that happened between the two of them. Generally speaking, Wang Feng was quite good to him. Not only did he teach him martial arts, but he also told him about internal energy. Now that I think about it, this old man doesn't seem to have done anything wrong to me. Zhou Fu sighed. It's just that the way he handled things was so bad that I foolishly became his disciple. I didn't even get any benefits, but it's very annoying. He adjusted his mood and entered the room. The smell of medicine was very strong. Wang Feng heard the sound and turned around. Ahem, junior brother, I thought you wouldn't come to see me. Zhou Fu looked at Wang Feng, who was lying on the bed with a cloth wrapped around his body. How could I? I'm a hard-working person who focuses on cultivation, so I don't usually hear much news. Today, I heard something happened to you, so I quickly came over. Wang Feng looked at Zhou Fu's sincere expression and nodded. He felt a lot better. Senior brother has misunderstood and wrongly blamed junior brother. Ahem. Just as he finished speaking, Wang Feng started coughing. Zhou Fu was speechless when he saw this. If he didn't know better, he would think that he was bullying a sick old man. Zhou Fu quickly changed the topic and asked, Senior brother, what happened to your injuries? Speaking of injuries, Wang Feng's expression became unnatural. He even began to stutter. I was careless and fell into someone's trap. Oh, ahem. The night before yesterday, I was careless and was surrounded by three masters. Not only that, they also used underhanded methods. Under Zhou Fu's gaze, Wang Feng's face began to turn red. Well, even so, I still managed to kill my way out. Also, those people didn't have it easy either. Their injuries weren't any lighter than mine. Zhou Fu smirked. Senior brother, can you explain in detail? Wang Feng's expression froze, and he stuttered as he explained. Junior brother, your cultivation base is still low, and you haven't reached that level yet. The waters of Jianghu are very deep. You won't understand even if I tell you. Even if you do, you won't be able to grasp it. It's only because I, your senior brother, have experienced hundreds of battles and seen many aspects of the world. Furthermore, my cultivation base is also high. That's why I'm able to have such a battle record. So, junior brother, you still have to work hard to cultivate. When senior brother brings you back to the sect, I believe that you will be as powerful as senior brother. Perhaps because Wang Feng had fallen into his own fantasy, he believed his lies to be true and stopped stuttering. Junior brother, don't bite off more than you can chew. These are not things you should be concerned about. Right now, you should be down to earth and cultivate properly. Otherwise, it would be like a few nights ago. If I hadn't arrived in time, that tiger guy would have taken your life. That's why, junior brother, you should first set your goal to defeat that whatever tiger and focus on your cultivation. Zhou Fu said playfully, Senior brother, you're right. I will work hard. Wang Feng nodded with an expression that said, You're a promising child. Yes, yes. I'm very happy that junior brother can think like this. By the way, senior brother, I also have good news to tell you today. Oh, you can tell me to get rid of my bad luck. The guy called Dahu was killed by me from the front this morning. Yes, as expected. What? Wang Feng was taken aback. His eyes widened in shock. In his excitement, he wanted to sit up. Then, a sharp pain came, causing a layer of cold sweat to appear on his forehead. Ouch! Zhou Fu, who was watching from the side, almost laughed out loud. He quickly went up to support him. Senior brother, don't be so excited. The doctor in the residence said that you will have to lie down for at least a month. Wang Feng stared at Zhou Fu's face. Kid, tell me the truth. Did you really kill that tiger guy? Zhou Fu smiled and said, Of course. Many people in the residence know about this. How? How did you cultivate so quickly? Wang Feng muttered to himself as if he was in a daze. Zhou Fu did not have the heart to provoke him too much. He added, During the battle, I felt that tiger guy's strength had weakened. Maybe it's because he was tied up for a long time. Yes. That must be it. Wang Feng's spirit was lifted again. Then, the two chatted for a while. Zhou Fu stood up and said, It's getting late. Senior brother, rest well. I'm going to cultivate. Yes. By the way, junior brother, don't go to Osmanthus brothel anymore. I feel that it's not simple. I know. Senior brother, rest well. After Zhou Fu left, there was a sigh in the room. Then it became quiet. It's another day where I don't get martial arts. In the courtyard, Zhou Fu lay on the recliner that the craftsman had just made and sighed. Bronze armor art seems to have reached a bottleneck. When I fought against Big Tiger in the morning, I withstood so many slashes from him, but he didn't reduce my cooldown. Could it be that Big Tiger's wind-chasing saber can no longer satisfy you? After the battle in the morning, his blade steps, mountain-breaking fist, and even eternal spring force had improved to a certain extent. As for bronze armor, it was as if nothing had happened, which made Zhou Fu very uncomfortable. Sigh, art of bronze armor is fine, but there's something even more ridiculous. He looked at the immovable foundation seal on the support panel. Its cooldown had reached 0, and the plus sign had appeared. But ding, immovable foundation seal failed to level up. Zhou Fu had heard this kind of notification many times. Every time he heard it, he had the same feeling. The same feeling was that he felt uncomfortable every time. The difference was that the degree of discomfort was different every time. Whatever, I'll leave it for now. I need to think about what to do next. Oh, right, I haven't been to the casino in a long time. I'll go check it out today. When Zhou Fu arrived at the casino, a large black cloud covered the entire Heong city. The black cloud was very thick, and the sky was as dark as night. Candles were lit up in the casino. Damn, the sky is like flipping a book. Suddenly, the sky and the earth lit up. Crack! Boom! There was a clap of thunder, as if the sky was collapsing. It made Zhou Fu shiver. After the thunder, there was a sudden storm, and water vapor filled the air. Looks like I can't go back today. At this time, in a house not far away from the casino, a dozen men in black were gathered together. Each of them had a weapon in their hands. Everyone, we have received news today. Our third leader was killed by Zhou Fu from the Zhou family. Brothers, what do you think we should do? Kill Zhou Fu and avenge our third leader. Yes, avenge him. All of them were furious. The leader of the men in black looked around and said with satisfaction, Zhou Fu is trapped in the casino, and our brothers have found his house. The leader pointed outside the house. Now, even the gods are on our side. If we don't avenge him now, when will we? The atmosphere in the room reached its peak in an instant, and heavy breathing sounds could be heard. Kill Zhou Fu and avenge him. Kill Zhou Fu, avenge him. Let's go. Chapter 41. Heavy rain on a summer's night really goes well with sleep. Zhou Fu laid on the bed and listened to the sound of rain outside. He slowly closed his eyes, and his breathing slowed down. Just as Zhou Fu was about to fall asleep, there was a commotion outside the door. This bastard, he actually dares to renege on a debt in our casino. He's simply looking for death. That's right. Brothers, look at this kid. His skin is soft and tender. His face is also not bad. How about, old 5, you son of a bitch, restrain your hobbies. Coming out in the middle of the night to annoy people. Be careful that I don't beat you to death. I was wrong. Let's hurry and find young Master Zhou. I hope this kid can live. Bang, bang, bang. There was a knock on the door. Young Master Zhou, there's a problem in front. I need you to make a decision. Zhou Fu put on his coat and said, Come in. The door was pushed open and 3 people walked in. The 2 people who came in later were dragging a person. This is? Zhou Fu frowned. Young Master Zhou, this kid owes 3,000 taels of silver from our casino and can't pay up. The person who spoke was a strong man. Zhou Fu had seen it before. This person was behind the Red Sea Gang's leader, Iron Tiger, and was Iron Tiger's personal guard. Later, this kid wanted to take the opportunity to slip away. Fortunately, the brothers guarding him were alert and caught him. How do you think we should deal with this? This question really stumped Zhou Fu. What to do? How would he know what to do? Just as Zhou Fu was deep in thought, an idea flashed through his mind. Since he couldn't solve the problem, then he would find someone who could. He opened his mouth and asked, "Where's Manager Liao?" Manager Liao had something to do this morning and went out. Looking at the weather, he probably won't be back until tomorrow. After saying that, the three people looked at Zhou Fu meaningfully, wanting to know how he would deal with this. It wasn't that the three of them didn't know how to deal with this matter. They just wanted to make things difficult for Zhou Fu. Because of Zhou Fu's obsession with martial arts, the Red Sea Gang members have been scolded by Iron Tiger. He said that they were all lazy bums, and that they were not even as good as his silk pants. These gang members didn't dare to say anything to Iron Tiger, but they hated Zhou Fu. You're just a hedonistic son of a rich family. Why would you practice martial arts for no reason? Your family is already so rich. Go eat, drink, and play. Zhou Fu raised his chin toward the person on the ground and asked, "Who is this person?" "We don't know about that, but recently, this person has been playing with us." The guard bent down, grabbed the man's hair, and lifted him up. BF*CK. It's him? Under the candlelight, Zhou Fu was surprised to find that he actually knew this person. This person was none other than Bai Lang, the person who sold him martial arts at Osmanthus brothel. At this moment, Bai Lang was no longer as carefree and unruly as before. His right eye was covered with a black fist mark, and there were bloodstains on his nose and mouth. His hair was disheveled, and he looked miserable. The three of them were stunned when they heard Zhou Fu shout. Could it be someone they knew? This was King Awkward. The guard asked uncertainly, "This person, young master, Zhou knows him?" Zhou Fu had a strange expression on his face as he nodded and said, "I think he should be a friend of mine." Hearing Zhou Fu admit it, the three of them laughed awkwardly, and the guard hurriedly told them what happened. "I'm really sorry. We didn't know that this was young master's friend. It's okay. My friend was in the wrong first. You don't have to be like this." Yes. It's like this. Yes. He was the one who attacked me first, so, I used too much strength when I fought back. I'll be fine after applying some medicinal wine for a day." The guard was indeed someone who had worked with Iron Tiger before. He hurriedly scolded, "What are you waiting for? Quickly help this young master up and find a chair to sit on." Yes. Quickly come and help." Oh, coming. The three of them hurriedly placed Bai Lang on the chair. "Young Master Zhou, we've troubled you. Well, we still have something to do in front, so we won't disturb you anymore. Goodbye." Yes. We still have something to do in front. Goodbye. The three of them ran out quickly, not forgetting to close the door before they left. What the F***CK is this? Why did they send me a wounded man in the middle of the night? Zhou Fu looked at the door speechlessly, then looked at Bai Lang. Sigh, if only Manager Liao was here. At this time, he missed the smart and capable executive of the Zhou family very much. It's not a good idea to just leave him like this. Forget it, I'll just throw him on the soft couch in the living room tonight. Zhou Fu walked to Bai Lang's side, grabbed him with his big hand, lifted him up, and turned around to throw him on the soft couch. Patter! A small object fell out of Bai Lang's arms and landed right beside Zhou Fu's feet. What is this? Zhou Fu bent down to pick it up. It was a small cloth bag. This thing, why does it look so familiar? He stared at the brown cloth bag in his hand, his mind spinning rapidly. Suddenly, a picture appeared, and Zhou Fu slowly opened his mouth wide. Damn, this thing can't be the bag from before, right? No wonder Zhou Fu looked familiar. This thing was the cloth bag that Bai Lang carried with him when he sold him the secret manual in Gue Xiong brothel. Good fellow, you're so thrifty. Zhou Fu sighed and accidentally opened the cloth bag. Inside the cloth bag, there was a small booklet very similar to the bronze armor art. Iron Bone, Secret Manual. He looked up at Bai Lang. Still in a coma. So Zhou Fu opened the booklet with ease. Ding detected the martial art Iron Bone Secret Manual. Do you want to cultivate it? Sure enough, this was a martial art secret manual. Zhou Fu was dumbfounded. It was like winning the lottery. Happiness came too suddenly, and he wasn't prepared for it. In the past few days, he had spent a lot of effort for his secret manual, but the result was nothing. He did not expect that today he would get another secret manual from Bai Lang in this way. Zhou Fu opened his mouth, and a simple and honest smile appeared on his face. Brother Bai, you will be my brother from now on. Level up. Ding. Iron Bone Secret Manual. Level up successfully. The current level is level 10. The cooldown time is 10 days. Zhou Fu's whole body trembled, and the hot strength surged in his body, especially in the joints of his body. The feeling of soreness was particularly obvious. He gritted his teeth, raised his head, stared at the roof, and said, "Thank God." Boom. The roof exploded in an instant, and a large amount of rain, tiles, and some broken wooden strips smashed down. Damn it! He screamed and took a step forward, but his feet went soft, and he rolled out. Plop! A figure fell from the hole in the roof, holding a long sword in his hand. He looked at Zhou Fu lying on the ground and asked, "Are you Zhou Fu?" Black clothes, a mask, and a long sword. This was the signature equipment of an assassin. Hearing the black-clothed man's question, Zhou Fu quickly shook his head. "No, I'm not Zhou Fu. You have found the wrong person." The black-clothed man sneered. "It seems that it is you, Kill." Chapter 42. Oh my God! Looking at the long saber coming at him, Zhou Fu rolled and crawled to avoid the saber. "Hero, you really recognize the wrong person. I really am not Zhou Fu." The man in black looked at him contemptuously and sneered. "Boy, what are you pretending to me for? Since I can come here, how can I not know you?" He looked up and down at Zhou Fu. His tone was very contemptuous. "Speaking of which, with your appearance, you can actually kill my third leader? God really doesn't have eyes." At this time, Zhou Fu had unspeakable bitterness in his heart. The strength of the man in black in front of him was not in his eyes at all. However, he had just finished upgrading his skills and was in a weak state of sequelae. It was difficult for him to even stand, let alone fight. He didn't expect this Iron Bone secret scroll to be so powerful. The bones all over his body were numb, and his limbs were weak. Kacha! Rumble, thunder rumbled in the sky. The rain was getting heavier and heavier. The man in black looked at Zhou Fu playfully. In his opinion, the young Master Zhou in front of him had not recognized the situation at this time. In this way, he needed to remind the other party. Otherwise, how could he enjoy the pleasure of killing? The original third leader of the stronghold was killed, so there was a vacant position. How many people were eyeing it? If he didn't take revenge by killing, what would he use to fight for that position? Boy, the man in black flipped his wrist, and the long blade with a cold light played a knife flower. Did you hear that? Even the heavens are helping us now. No matter if you scream or beg for mercy, it's useless. No one can hear it. A tyrannical look appeared in the eyes of the man in black. He was so excited that his body began to tremble. "I won't kill you with a knife. I will slowly torture you to death, and then bring your head back to the stronghold to comfort my third leader's soul in heaven." This was a F***king psychopath. Why did he feel so good after talking so much? Moreover, he was so talkative. Had he never heard of villains dying because they talked too much? Seeing the black-clothed man in such a state, Zhou Fu felt a lot more relieved. What he needed was time. Once the strange feeling in his body disappeared, the black-clothed man would die. Mother of Asterisker, the next time I upgrade a martial art like this, I will definitely find a safe place. The feeling of being a fish on the chopping block is too ridiculous. Zhou Fu pretended to be frightened. His body trembled as he retreated to the side. That was how it was in the movies, so he did as he was told. Clang! A chair was knocked over by him. The man in black turned his head and looked at him playfully. That gaze was as if he was staring at the food on the plate. "Ha ha ha! Since young Master Zhou can't wait any longer, then I'm here." Whoosh! The man in black slashed out with his saber. Zhou Fu quickly dodged. Clang! The long saber slashed into the tea table beside Zhou Fu. The black-clothed man didn't care. He grinned and suddenly exerted strength in his right arm. He lifted the tea table and swung it. What the F asterisk CK? There was such a move? Zhou Fu was dumbfounded by what he saw. That lifted tea table whizzed and smashed onto Zhou Fu's shoulder. Boom! The table broke. Zhou Fu quickly pretended to be in great pain and screamed. How long will this after effect take? The first upgrade should be enough. Why hasn't it healed yet? While lowering his head to dodge, he madly complained in his heart. The black-clothed man leisurely walked in front of Zhou Fu and used the back of his saber to hit Zhou Fu's shoulder. Zhou Fu also borrowed the force of this attack and fell to the side. But he didn't expect that the black-clothed man would raise his leg and kick. Bang! The fierce kick directly sent Zhou Fu flying. Looking at Zhou Fu, who was sent flying by his kick, the black-clothed man laughed wildly and said, "Boy, I'll ask you if you feel good." Ha ha! Just as he was about to continue his torture, there was a burst of shouting outside the house. Clang! Clang! First, there was the sound of copper. Then, there was a burst of shouting. Not good! Not good! Thieves have broken in. Everyone, be careful. The thieves are all armed. Brothers, grab your weapons. Kill! The black-clothed man suddenly paused and looked at the door in surprise. Bastards! I told them not to act rashly. Are they F asterisk king incompetent? A bunch of trash. Zhou Fu was sent flying by the black-clothed man's kick and smashed directly onto the soft couch. After his body fell, he habitually opened his mouth and screamed. But as soon as the sound came out, he felt that something was wrong. A soft touch came from under his body. He didn't feel any pain. Zhou Fu suddenly raised his head, and a mist of blood spurted out from behind him. F asterisk CK. Brother Bai. He turned his head and was immediately shocked. The person under his body was Bai Lang. At this moment, Bai Lang was very much in line with his surname. His face was pale, and even his half-opened eyes couldn't see the black pupils. This time, Zhou Fu was really panicking. He didn't even notice that the weakness in his body was beginning to fade. Brother Bai, wake up. Don't let anything happen to you. This Bai Lang had already been defined as a secret store by Zhou Fu. He had met him twice, and he had received cultivation techniques. If he was gone, Zhou Fu's loss would not be small. So, he was very panicked and anxious. I didn't expect that young Master Zhou would value brotherhood so much. The black-clothed man walked over with a long saber. At this moment, there was no violence or fanaticism in his eyes, only cold, killing intent. In that case, after I kill you later, I'll send your brother down to see you. As he spoke, the black-clothed man raised the long saber in his hand. Kill! With a loud shout, the long saber slashed down. Bam! The black-clothed man was shocked. He saw that Zhou Fu didn't even raise his head and reached out to grab the blade that was slashing down. How is this possible? The black-clothed man stared at the blade and the fleshy palm beneath the blade. This unimaginable scene scared him silly. He tried to pull the saber out, but the palm was like an iron clamp. No matter how hard he tried, the saber didn't move at all. At this moment, Zhou Fu removed his right hand from under Bai Lang's nose. He heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he's not dead. Then, he stood up and looked at the black-clothed man. Do you know that you almost killed my brother? If you dare to harm my brother, you'll be harming me. If you harm me, you'll have to die. At this moment, the black-clothed man had already seen Bai Lang's face clearly. There were bruises on his face, and it didn't look like he was smashed. It looked more like he was beaten up. However, Zhou Fu wouldn't give the enemy time to react. Mountain Splitter! A loud shout instantly woke the black-clothed man up. He looked up, and his pupils contracted violently. Oh no! His fist was like a spear. Boom! The black-clothed man didn't even have the chance to react before he was sent flying by the domineering fist force. Bam! The door was shattered. The black-clothed man smashed into the corridor outside the door, his body trembling nonstop. The intense pain tore at the black-clothed man's nerves. Streams of blood gushed out from his mouth and nose. At this moment, he could no longer speak. He raised his trembling right hand slightly and pointed his index finger at Zhou Fu. At this moment, his eyes were filled with regret and shock. Sword steps. Zhou Fu's figure instantly appeared in front of the black-clothed man. He lifted his foot and stomped down. Crack! Ugh! Bam! The black-clothed man's raised hand suddenly lost the strength to support it. Zhou Fu shook his head. Villains die because they talk too much. At this moment, there was a flurry of footsteps outside the courtyard. It's here. Hurry. Boss, this is bad. Our brothers can't hold on any longer. Boss, let's retreat. There are experts here. The footsteps were getting closer, and the voices were getting clearer. Bam! Bam! The closed courtyard door shook and was then slammed open by a huge force. More than a dozen black-clothed and masked figures with long swords in their hands rushed in. Beside Zhou Fu's door, there were 2 lampposts. Under the protection of the windproof and rainproof lampshades, the lights inside were still bright even in this harsh weather. After these black-clothed men rushed into the courtyard, they turned around and saw the scene at the door of the main room. What? Boss? Chapter 43. Under the dim light, one was standing and the other was lying down, one alive and one dead. The men in black who rushed in from the outside were stunned when they saw the situation in front of them. Before they came here, their leader, the man in black who was trampled to death by Zhou Fu, had vowed that tonight would be the last part of their road to riches. As long as they went to the casino tonight with a knife and killed a playboy, then they would bring the head of that playboy back to the mountain. That way, each of them would receive a generous reward. Not only that, but their status would also rise. Money, women, whatever they wanted. Therefore, they were excited and came here. Therefore, they were at a loss. Boss was killed. What should we do? What should we do? Damn it, how do I know what to do? My hand is shaking. I can't hold the knife. Shut up. At this time, the armed forces of Hung Yin Casino rushed into the courtyard. They were all tall and well-equipped. A light beam also lit up on the wall. This thing made Zhou Fu confused. There is actually something in this world that could shine in the rain? You have guts. You actually dare to make trouble in the territory of the Red Sea Gang. The crowd parted. Iron Tiger came out with 4 bodyguards with a gloomy face. At this time, Taihu was different from before. He was holding a golden blade in his hand. The blade was very wide, about 1.5 palms of an ordinary person. It was about half a meter long and looked very fierce. Iron Tiger's eyes swept over the men in black and fell on Zhou Fu, who was standing at the door. When he saw the corpse at Zhou Fu's feet, he was shocked. This little fatty actually knew how to kill people? Before this, he only knew that Zhou Fu was practicing martial arts and could see that he had never killed anyone. Young master, Zhou really opened this old man's eyes. Zhou Fu smiled and cupped his hands. I made a fool of myself in front of Hulm Master Iron. Iron Tiger smiled and turned to look at the men in black. I'll give you 2 options. Either kneel down or die. Hearing Iron Tiger's words, the men in black instantly panicked. They didn't know anything else, but from the exaggerated big knife in Iron Tiger's hand, they knew that this person was not someone they could afford to provoke. Thus, they tacitly turned to Zhou Fu, and the panic in their eyes was gradually replaced by ferocity. Brothers, kill him. He's alone. Yes, kill him and avenge our boss. Kill him. Kill. A leader appeared in the midst of the panicked crowd, allowing the frightened men in black to instantly find their direction. Furthermore, the new leader was right. Zhou Fu was alone and did not have a weapon. Compared to the ferocious Red Sea Gang, Zhou Fu was like an unguarded baby. As the man in black roared, Iron Tiger's face became as gloomy as the sky. Bastards, how dare you ignore this old man? Die! Iron Tiger's majestic body rushed into the crowd in an instant, and the knife in his hand danced. Woo, the low humming sound instantly suppressed the sound of the torrential rain. Golden light suddenly appeared, and blood filled the air. The terrifying attack instantly tore apart the bodies of the 4 men in black, and their limbs were pushed away by the huge force. Run! This man is a monster! The hot blood that the men in black had just gathered was instantly extinguished by Iron Tiger's knife. Iron Tiger roared again, kill. 3 golden lights tore apart the curtain of rain, and several figures were thrown away. At the same time, the smell of blood in the courtyard became stronger. Ha ha! I haven't killed so happily in a long time. Again, Iron Tiger jumped high, and the knife in his hand seemed to become a light source. Dozens of golden lights shot out, and a cloud of fog rose around him. The golden light fell, and there was another scream. The man in black running at the front turned his head, and his heart instantly fell into the abyss. This scene made Zhou Fu's blood boil. Strong. He was really too strong. There were originally more than a dozen men in black, but now there were only 3 left. In almost the blink of an eye, he killed more than a dozen people with 3 knives. Moreover, Iron Tiger's last knife was completely beyond Zhou Fu's understanding. That thing is knife energy, right? It must be knife energy, right? This kind of movie-level scene instantly aroused Zhou Fu's blood and qi. At this time, the remaining 3 men in black were also scared out of their wits. In the wind and rain, under the dim yellow light, the 3 of them were like abandoned chicks, helpless and confused. After one move, Iron Tiger landed on the ground and held his knife. There was a contemptuous smile on his face. The Red Sea gang members were excited. Good. Hall Master is so powerful. Ha ha. I haven't seen Hall Master in action for a long time. Yes, yes. The atmosphere was getting more and more fervent, and the 3 of them felt even more helpless. What should we do? Beg for mercy? Will they let us go if we beg for mercy? The Red Sea gang members gave answers to the 3's questions. Hey, you 3 trash. Either you rush up to die or slit your own throats. Hurry up. Yes, yes. The 3 of them looked at each other and saw the deep despair in each other's eyes. As the saying goes, a rabbit will bite when cornered, and a dog will jump over a wall when cornered. Under extreme fear, the 3 of them felt their blood boil. They clenched the long knives in their hands and roared as they rushed toward Zhou Fu. What the F *CK? Why me? This scene made Zhou Fu very confused. Could it be that he was easy to bully because he was alone? On the other side, one of Iron Tiger's personal guards said, Hall Master, should we save that kid? Iron Tiger shook his head. Not yet. Watch. At this time, Zhou Fu didn't know why, but anger rose in his heart. He rushed into the rain, splashing water under his feet. Mountain Splitter. The oncoming black-clothed man's eyes were full of madness. He clenched the long knife with both hands and used all the strength in his body to hack down. Kill. Clang. The fist and the knife collided. A golden sound spread far and wide in the rain. The long knife was broken into several pieces upon contact. After Zhou Fu's fist broke the long knife, it didn't stop at all and directly imprinted on the black-clothed man's chest. Boom! The ferocious fist force immediately shattered the black-clothed man's bones and came out of his body. Even on the black-clothed man's back, there was an obvious bulge. This scene was clearly seen by Iron Tiger, who was standing right behind. He took a deep breath, his eyes shining brightly as he praised. What a domineering fist energy. Is this still the mountain-breaking fist? On the other side, after Zhou Fu blasted away the black-clothed man in front of him, his figure flashed and dodged the 2 long knives that were coming at him. His body appeared behind the remaining 2 black-clothed men. Twisting his waist and turning around, Zhou Fu's fists were like 2 meteor hammers, making 2 crisp sounds in the air. The 2 black-clothed men didn't even have time to react before they were sent flying. Good. Iron Tiger roared excitedly. Ha ha! I didn't expect Duke of Zhou's mountain-breaking fist to be so high and your fist force so strong. This old man really misjudged you. Zhou Fu quickly cupped his hands and smiled. Hall Master Iron, you flatter me. How can my insignificant skills catch your attention? This is not the place to talk. It's still raining. Why don't we talk somewhere else? Iron Tiger readily agreed. Ha ha ha, if you don't mind, let's talk for a while. Chapter 44. The sharp laughter scattered in the wind and pierced the ears of everyone present. Iron Tiger's eyes were shining. He raised the saber in his hand, and the energy in his body surged. He shouted, "Who is it? Come out." The overbearing sound waves seemed to shake the raindrops, and the ear-piercing sound was scattered. Under the stimulation of the two sound waves, Zhou Fu felt really bad. It was as if he had been forced to drink half a kilo of white wine and then hit twice with a sledgehammer. What kind of gods are they? Not only Zhou Fu, but even the people behind Iron Tiger couldn't bear it. They held their heads with both hands and fell to the ground, groaning in pain. "Who are you? Come out!" Iron Tiger shouted. The saber in his hand shone with a golden light, and he slashed 4 times in all directions. The pale golden saber light drew 4 clear marks in the night sky and rushed into the darkness. Boom! The saber light disappeared and 4 loud sounds were heard. Hall Master Iron is so powerful. I can't bear it. Bang! 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 The curtain of rain exploded. A figure rushed toward Iron Tiger. Good! Seeing the enemy appear and rush toward him, Iron Tiger shouted. His saber turned into a golden light and slashed. Woo! The pale golden saber light instantly cut through the black shadow. Iron Tiger frowned. He didn't feel like he had cut through anything. It was as if he had cut through air. It was a shadow. Not good. Iron Tiger hurriedly withdrew his saber to block. Clang! With a golden sound, Iron Tiger took 5 steps back. Ha! Hall Master Iron, why are you so angry? A soft laughter sounded in Zhou Fu's ears. He trembled and his body stiffened. Oh, so this is the eldest son of the Zhou family. He looks so handsome. I like him very much. Her sharp and cold nails fell below Zhou Fu's earlobe and then scratched toward his chin. Get lost! Zhou Fu's chi and blood surged. Waves of energy rushed to his elbow and slammed behind him. A little brother is also so angry. Before Zhou Fu could make the next move, a cold palm pressed down on his shoulder. How about I help young master Zhou calm down? A bone-chilling aura instantly entered his body. Zhou Fu's expression changed dramatically. He found that he couldn't move. Boom! The cold little hand suddenly burst out a huge force and sent Zhou Fu flying. Young Master Zhou, are you feeling better now? Zhou Fu's body landed on the porch. He was only 3 steps away from the man in black whom he had trampled to death. Before he could get up, a gust of wind blew, and the black shadow stood beside him. I didn't expect young Master Zhou's body to be so strong. He didn't even spit out a mouthful of blood after being hit by my palm. That small hand slammed down again. It was like a sledgehammer that could penetrate a body. Boom! Gotcha! Zhou Fu's chest felt heavy, and he almost fainted. Under his body, the solid stone floor suddenly shattered. Such a strong body. I like it. Woo! A low humming sound rang out. A golden light streaked across the small courtyard. Demon, don't be so arrogant. Die for me. At this time, Iron Tiger was about to go crazy. This demon in black broke into his territory. The result was that all of his subordinates were injured. The Zhou family, who was cooperating with their gang, had their young master beaten up in front of his eyes. How was this beating Zhou Fu? This was a slap to his face. Oh, so this is Soul Breaking Blade. Humph, brute. A silver light flashed. A long sword covered in frost came out of the black, clothed man's sleeve. It was like a poisonous snake that touched the golden light. Bang! Water vapor rose, accompanied by ice shards falling down. Zhou Fu raised his head. When the ice shards fell on his face, they were cool and made him feel a little more spirited. At this time, the black-clothed man and Iron Tiger were already fighting. Golden light and silver light intertwined and collided. Waves of energy mixed with cold air spread out. After a while, a white ground appeared in the courtyard. What kind of martial arts is this? At this time, Zhou Fu had already stood up. Although he was beaten up by the black-clothed man, his body was strong. His skin was rough, and his flesh was thick. Oh no, it was high defense and high health. It did not cause any substantial damage to him. In the field, the black-clothed man and Iron Tiger's attack speed became faster and faster. The sound of metal clanging together became one. Boom! Golden light and silver light suddenly flashed. A violent wind swept through the field. Iron Tiger and the black-clothed man's figure flew back. Zhou Fu's eyes flashed. Opportunity! Mountain splitter! Boom! The energy exploded under Zhou Fu's feet. The fierce energy gathered in his fist. Kill. The black-clothed man's figure turned strangely in the air. A trace of anger flashed in her eyes. It's not a good habit to attack behind someone's back. Let me teach you the rules. The silver light suddenly appeared. Like a poisonous snake, it wrapped around Zhou Fu's wrist. She exerted her strength. Not good. The scene of blood splattering everywhere and broken arms flying in the air did not appear. The silver light seemed to be twisted on a piece of old leather. Not only did it not move, but she also almost let go of the soft sword. Just as the black-clothed man was stunned, a domineering fist wind was about to hit her. The black-clothed man did not panic. She turned her left hand, and a cold energy burst out. From top to bottom, she suddenly attacked. Boom! The fist and the palm collided. Zhou Fu's body paused. A strong force came from the fist, cold and domineering. In an instant, he was sent flying. Bang! Zhou Fu's body broke the door and window. He heavily smashed into the house. Boy! On the other side, Iron Tiger roared. But he did not continue to attack. He looked at the black-clothed man with fear in his eyes. Who the hell are you? The black-clothed man looked at the broken door and window and snorted contemptuously. You're just a boorish man from the countryside. How dare you try to hurt me? You don't know what you're talking about. She put her left hand behind her back and turned to Iron Tiger. Oh, you're not that strong. You're also a boorish man. In a place where no one could see, her left hand, which had just fought with Zhou Fu, was trembling. A burst of pain came from the palm of her hand. Iron Tiger was not a kind man. When he heard the black-clothed man's words, anger rose in his heart. With a grim smile, he shook the saber in his hand. Since you want to die, then, huh? The two suddenly turned to look inside the house. I really hate being whipped around by others. Zhou Fu's upper body was naked. His solid muscles were well-defined. Under the light, they seemed to be plated with a faint layer of copper. You're actually fine? The black-clothed man's tone was full of shock. She had used a lot of strength just now. Coupled with her cold inner strength, an ordinary warrior would be seriously injured and lose their ability to fight. In her eyes, Zhou Fu was just a boorish man with low cultivation and rough martial arts. And such a person was actually fine after taking a few hits from her. Not only the black-clothed man, but Iron Tiger was also stunned. He had fought with the black-clothed man before and knew how powerful she was. Therefore, he had the same doubts. You hit me so hard. The last time I felt this way, it was Big Tiger of the Black Mountain Bandits. Then Big Tiger died, and now it's you. The black-clothed man suddenly felt bad. She was not afraid of Iron Tiger. As long as she was given time, she could even kill him. Now that there was a strange Zhou Fu, she suddenly had a thought of leaving. Zhou Fu's body slightly arched. His blood and chi rushed out from his heart. On his arm, blue veins popped out like old vines. A strong aura locked on to the black-clothed man. Speak, who are you? Chapter 45. Zhou Fu's question ignited the anger of the woman in black. She was actually yelled at by the son of a merchant, a rich playboy, and a country bumpkin. Brat, do you think you could be so arrogant just because you have thick skin? You're just a country bumpkin, a toad at the bottom of a well who doesn't know how big the world is. As the words left her mouth, a powerful aura rose from the woman in black. Today, I'll show you what I'm capable of, and open your eyes. As the gentle female voice spoke, it suddenly turned into a rough male voice. This sudden turn of events left Zhou Fu dumbfounded. Such a big contrast really caught him off guard. Country bumpkin, take this. The wind whistled and the heat waves surged. Before Zhou Fu could react, a figure flashed in front of him and a force exploded in front of his chest. Boom! The strong and fierce palm force slammed Zhou Fu into the room, smashing a large number of tables and chairs along the way. Bang! Zhou Fu's back hit the pillar, and the force of the impact made him cough a few times. He stretched out his hand and touched his body a few times. He didn't feel any discomfort, but the skin on his chest was warm. Nothing happened. Was the other party just for show? Such a powerful move didn't seem to have any effect on him. This is eternal spring energy? In Zhou Fu's body, a warm current circulated in his meridians. When it reached his chest, a warm and cool feeling spread out, making him feel very comfortable. Zhou Fu stood up and checked himself again. After confirming that there was nothing wrong with him, he walked towards the door. At the door, after the woman in black sent Zhou Fu flying with a palm, she stood there laughing wildly. On the other side, Iron Tiger frowned after seeing the change in the woman in black. He seemed to have heard of the woman in black before, but he couldn't recall any information about her. The woman in black ignored Iron Tiger and laughed wildly. "You've been hit by my red flame palm," even if the woman in black suddenly stopped. In her line of sight, Zhou Fu's figure became clearer and clearer. You're actually fine? It shouldn't be like this." He even rubbed his eyes to make sure it wasn't an illusion. The corner of Zhou Fu's mouth twitched as he said, "Didn't you just say that I'm a country bumpkin with rough skin and thick flesh? Of course, I'm fine after being hit by 2 palms. But," his tone changed as he continued, "it seems like something is going to happen to you." Zhou Fu didn't have any good words for this inexplicably confident man in black in front of him. First, the other party slapped him from the courtyard to the corridor. Then he slapped him into the house twice in a row. Although it didn't cause any harm to him, he still cared about his reputation. Ha ha ha! The black-clothed man was so angry that he laughed. "What big words! I really want to know what you can do to me." Then watch carefully. Rumble. A violent burst of energy exploded under Zhou Fu's feet as he punched out. "Open mountain. Hee hee. You don't know what you're talking about." The black-robed man smiled contemptuously. He didn't dodge or evade, and instead sent out a palm strike. "Kid, you're too slow." A hideous laughter rang in Zhou Fu's ears. Behind his body, a scorching hot palm wind attacked his body, and a fierce palm strike exploded on his shoulder. Bang! The black-clothed man sent Zhou Fu flying again with a palm strike. "Ha ha ha ha! Little brother, don't you want to know why I call you a country bumpkin? Listen to me slowly explain to you," the gentle voice rang again. Before Zhou Fu landed on the ground, a cold force exploded on his body again. Boom! The black-clothed man slapped Zhou Fu to the ground from above, and the ground suddenly shattered. "Little brother, do you understand this time?" A pair of black boots appeared beside Zhou Fu. One foot was raised, and then it stepped heavily on Zhou Fu's chest. "Do you understand now?" Ha ha ha! It was the coarse voice again. 2 streams of heat and cold energy wreaked havoc in Zhou Fu's body, like 2 large hands, using different forces to tear at his muscles and meridians. "Ugh!" Zhou Fu frowned in pain. His hands unconsciously grabbed his opponent's ankle, and he pushed with all his strength. The black-clothed man mockingly exclaimed, a sneer on his lips. If this could push Zhou Fu away, he might as well dig a hole and bury himself in it. "Haha, kid, use more strength. Did you not eat enough?" As he spoke, he increased his strength. At the same time, waves of scorching energy bombarded Zhou Fu's body. In his heart, he hated this coarse and thick-skinned person to death. On the other side, Iron Tiger stared at the black-clothed man and asked uncertainly, "Are you the Yin-Yang Demon Lord?" "Oh!" The black-clothed man turned his head in surprise and looked at Iron Tiger. "I didn't expect that there would be someone who has heard of me in such a remote and desolate place." Hearing the other party admit it, Iron Tiger's entire body trembled. You didn't help." As if he thought of some taboo, Iron Tiger's expression suddenly changed, and he swallowed the rest of his words. "Ha ha ha! I really didn't expect that you would actually know. Ha ha, can we talk properly now?" Iron Tiger's expression changed. He muttered to himself for a while, as if he had forgotten that Zhou Fu was being abused under the other party's feet. "Sir, I don't care if you are the Yin-Yang Demon Lord, or, never mind, we will mind our own business. However, if you provoke our Red Sea gang, we're not to be trifled with." "Ha ha, your words are quite firm." The black-clothed man chuckled, but fear appeared in his eyes. He came here today with no intention of directly clashing with the Red Sea gang. In this world, people came and went for the sake of profit. She did not have any conflict of interest with the Red Sea gang, so naturally, she would not clash with them for no reason. "I came here today because of the Black Mountain Bandits." "Black Mountain Bandits?" Iron Tiger frowned. How could this person be related to a gang of bandits? Could it be? Suddenly, shock flashed across Iron Tiger's eyes. He swallowed his saliva and said in a low voice, "We don't have any grudges with the Black Mountain Bandits, right?" The black-clothed man, who had been paying attention to Iron Tiger, naturally noticed the change in his eyes. An indescribable expression appeared in her eyes. "There is no Red Sea gang, but the person under my feet killed the third leader of the Black Mountain Bandits." Iron Tiger was in a difficult position. He did not want to have any conflict with the Yin Demon Lord or the forces behind him, but he could not watch the Zhou clan get into trouble in front of his eyes. Otherwise, the Red Sea gang would become a joke. The black-clothed man smirked. "I wonder, soul-chasing saber, Iron Tiger, Home Master Tai, what rules do you have?" Just as the black-clothed man and Iron Tiger were conversing, Zhou Fu's body was in chaos. Two waves of inner strength, one hot and one cold, constantly invaded his body. At the same time, the inner strength of the eternal spring energy that originally belonged to him realized that something was wrong and hurriedly rushed up. In an instant, the three waves of inner strength collided. The inner strength of the eternal spring energy was pure and peaceful, while the other two were ruthless and overbearing. When the three of them collided, it was as if cold water had been poured into a pot of hot oil, instantly boiling. This time, Zhou Fu was in trouble. His meridians and muscles trembled nonstop as if there was an earthquake. Traces of blood began to seep out from under his skin. Mother asterisk cur, damn demon. I don't want to die. Under extreme pain, Zhou Fu opened the support panel. At this time, on the martial arts tab, only the immovable foundation seal could be upgraded. He had tried to upgrade this martial art twice, but he had not succeeded. Mother asterisk cur, I don't want to die. Upgrade it for me. Trash support, I bought it in full. Mother asterisk cur. Upgrade it. Ding. Immovable foundation seal upgrade successful. Current level 20. Cooldown 30 days. Chapter 46. A faint golden inner strength appeared in Zhou Fu's body. It was neutral, solid, and seemed to emit a majestic aura. It felt as if he had walked into the main hall of a monastery. Looking up, he saw a golden Buddha sitting on a lotus platform. His hands were forming seals, and his eyes were half open. He looked solemn and serene. As the golden inner strength circulated, it grew stronger with every step it took in his meridians. At Zhou Fu's chest, there were 3 strands of inner strength. One of them was the eternal spring energy, while the other 2 were from the Yin-Yang Demon Lord. When a faint golden inner strength reached him, the 3 intertwining strands of inner strength suddenly charged forward. This shocked Zhou Fu, who was feeling the changes in his body. The 3 strands of inner strength were already unbearable for him. Now that there was another one, wouldn't it be asking for his life? He originally thought that after the immovable fundamental seal was upgraded, it would give him a chance of survival. He never expected that this chance would become a blade that would kill him. Bam! The 4 strands of inner strength collided. Zhou Fu's body trembled. Then large amounts of sweat poured out of his body. Mixed with the sweat were black and red blood and impurities in his body. Damn! This immovable fundamental seal is so strong. Zhou Fu sensed that the faint golden inner strength had directly shattered the 3 strands of inner strength that were charging at him. Suppress, kill, and absorb. These 3 strands of inner strength did not cause any hindrance to the golden inner strength. They did not even slow it down. F***CK. It's ridiculously strong. At this moment, Zhou Fu, who was being stepped on by the Yin-Yang Demon Lord, did not panic. He calmly felt the changes in his body. The upgrade of the immovable fundamental seal did not only strengthen his body. In Zhou Fu's sea of consciousness, a black Buddha figure that emitted a faint golden glow appeared. The right hand of the Buddha figure was constantly changing. Zhou Fu carefully sensed it. It was a seal that was being repeated by the Buddha figure. Could it be that after the upgrade of the immovable fundamental seal, there's an additional skill? Zhou Fu, who was overjoyed, tried hard to remember the movements of the hand seals. He thought to himself, I'll let you step on me for now. I'll give you a big surprise later. After a while, the golden force in Zhou Fu's body circulated 9 times in his meridians. At the same time, the strengthening of his body was completed. He opened his eyes and looked at the so-called yin-yang demon lord. At this moment, his hands were firmly grasping the other's ankles. Zhou Fu's eyes flashed, and a powerful force suddenly burst out from his arms. Ah! The yin-yang demon lord cried out in pain. She could feel that the force on her ankle was very strong, as if it was going to crush her ankle bones. Let go. As the saying goes, it is better to break one than to injure 10 fingers. Zhou Fu knew this very well. He let out an angry roar, and the veins on his arms bulged. The pale golden energy also surged into his arms. Crack! The yin-yang demon lord let out a blood-curdling scream. She knew that her ankle had been shattered. Ah, bastard! I'll kill you. Rumble. There was a loud explosion. The berserk energy suddenly exploded, sending Zhou Fu, who was about to get up, flying. Zhou Fu rolled a distance on the ground before he hurriedly got up. He looked at the yin-yang demon lord, who was filled with killing intent, and laughed. Didn't you have a lot of fun stepping on me? How is it? Does it still feel good? Bastard, I want you to die a horrible death. The intense pain was like a tide, tormenting the yin-yang demon lord's nerves. After sending Zhou Fu flying, she wanted to chase after him, but the injury on her ankle made it impossible for her to move. No matter how much you scream, what can you do? You've finished fighting, and now it's my turn. Damn transvestite, die. Kill. With a furious roar, Zhou Fu's figure suddenly rushed out. This time, he did not use the mountain splitter style. His right hand constantly moved, forming a seal. Zhou Fu's qi, blood, and inner strength began to circulate, and a powerful aura arose from his body. That's impossible. The yin-yang demon lord's expression changed drastically. The aura that Zhou Fu was emitting made him shudder. This was a warning that could threaten his life. Nothing is impossible. Die for me. Zhou Fu raised his hand, and the rising force dispersed the raindrops that were smashing towards him. Kill. The seal smashed down firmly. Boom. With a loud explosion, the explosive force swept out in all directions. Ah! The yin-yang demon lord screamed as his body was sent flying, splattering blood all over the ground. Bang! 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 After landing, the yin-yang demon lord rolled another 5 to 6 meters away. When she stopped, the black cloth on her face had fallen, and her face was covered in blood. Cough! Cough! No! Impossible! At that moment, the yin-yang demon lord still could not accept the situation before her. She had actually been beaten up by the trash in her eyes. Furthermore, she had been beaten so badly that she had lost 70% of her life. The shocking turn of events had also given the Iron Tiger quite a fright. At that moment, he looked at Zhou Fu with a very strange gaze. It was confusion, shock, and a little fear. In his memory, Zhou Fu had not been practicing martial arts for a long time. Even if he was gifted and a genius, this was not the way to improve. Especially when he saw Zhou Fu send the yin-yang demon lord flying with a single palm strike. His mind went blank. Young Master Zhou, please wait. When the Iron Tiger saw Zhou Fu walking towards the yin-yang demon lord, it looked like he was going to kill her. He hurriedly stopped him. Young Master Zhou, this person is of great importance. You cannot kill him. When Zhou Fu heard this, he turned around and looked at the Iron Tiger. Oh, of great importance? How is it of great importance? This question stumped the Iron Tiger. He did not want to provoke the other party, but looking at Zhou Fu's appearance, if he did not give a reasonable explanation, the yin-yang demon lord would definitely die here today. Young Master Zhou, the Iron Tiger took a deep breath. This person really cannot be killed. Otherwise, the Zhou family will be in big trouble. Big trouble? Zhou Fu's eyes flickered. For a moment, he could not make up his mind. Seeing Zhou Fu start to hesitate, the Iron Tiger hurriedly said, Young Master Zhou, what I said is true. Zhou Fu was very unwilling. He had been bullied, but he could not bully back. The other party wanted to kill him, but he could not kill the other party. How could a hot-blooded youth accept this grievance? Zhou Fu slowly shook his head. Iron Tiger, it's not that I don't give you face, nor that I don't trust you, but the explanation you gave me makes it impossible for me to let this person go. The Iron Tiger was also very helpless. The faction behind the Yin-Yang Demon Lord, as well as his guesses, could not be mentioned openly. Otherwise, not only the Zhou family, but even the Red Sea Gang would be implicated. At present, there was not much conflict between them. Of course, this excluded Zhou Fu. After all, the Yin-Yang Demon Lord had almost killed him. Returning to the conflict, since it had not reached an irreconcilable stage, it was best for both sides to take a step back. Otherwise, none of them would be able to back down. At this moment, the Yin-Yang Demon Lord spat out another mouthful of blood. Panting heavily, he looked at Zhou Fu and said, "The Iron Tiger is right. I'm just a small fry. Even if you kill me, it's of no use. Today, I'm here to solve the problem of the Black Mountain Bandits. If young master Zhou kills me, This arrogant tone made Zhou Fu's chest tighten. He laughed disdainfully and raised his leg to slap the other party's face. The force was not great, but it was extremely insulting. Shut up. Trash has no right to speak. Chapter 47. Puffed. Bastard you. The Yin-Yang Demon Lord spat out a mouthful of blood. His eyes were bloodshot and his heart was burning with rage. He had been slapped in the face with the sole of his foot, and the person who slapped him was the trash in his eyes. He could not accept this at all. Brat, don't think that you can be arrogant just because you won with a sneak attack. The Yin-Yang Demon Lord was being stepped on by Zhou Fu, but he still glared at Zhou Fu from the corner of his eyes. Grandpa will remember today's matter. If one of your Zhou clan lives, I crack. The courtyard instantly fell silent. Zhou Fu kicked the corpse away and said, "What exactly made you so confident? You're already being stepped on by me, but you're still so arrogant. Have you always been so brave?" Sigh. Iron Tiger also walked over, but he did not get too close. He maintained a distance of 5 steps from Zhou Fu. Young Master Zhou, we're in big trouble. He sighed and looked at the Yin-Yang Demon Lord's corpse with a complicated expression before returning his gaze to Zhou Fu. If he remembered correctly, it had only been a little more than a month since Zhou Fu's first visit to Hung Yun Gambling House. In such a short time, he had grown from someone who could not even defeat an ordinary member of the Red Sea Gang to the bottom of the pyramid. How could he not be shocked? Zhou Fu looked at Iron Tiger and asked, "I wonder if Hall Master Tai can tell me more about this Yin-Yang Demon Lord and the faction behind him?" Iron Tiger frowned and struggled in his heart. He did not want to talk about it, because he did not want to get into trouble. Although the Yin-Yang Demon Lord had already died in the gambling house, he still wanted to distance himself from this. Young Master Zhou, please don't make things difficult for me. It's not that I don't want to talk about it, but that I can't. Zhou Fu stared at Iron Tiger for a while, then nodded. I understand. This person said that he was here for the Black Mountain Bandits? Iron Tiger nodded. This was not a secret. Black Mountain Bandits? Zhou Fu repeated. Suddenly, he remembered that Zhou Ji had also been captured by the Black Mountain Bandits. Was there something going on here? Troublesome. Zhou Fu mumbled and then said, "Thank you for bringing people here today, Home Master Tai. It's getting late now. Let's rest first. Tomorrow, rumble." A loud noise suddenly came from the dark night sky. Heaven and earth seemed to be shaking. In the center of Haiyang City, there was a flame that shot up to the sky. That's the direction of the City Lord's mansion. Iron Tiger said in horror. Setting fire to the City Lord's mansion? How bold. At the very least, the Red Sea Gang wouldn't dare to do it. They wouldn't even dare to think about it. Young Master Zhou, Zhou Fu was stunned by Iron Tiger's stare. Why are you looking at me? Damn, I wasn't the one who started the fire. Hall Master Tai, what do you think? Iron Tiger trembled and quickly said, Young Master Zhou, don't talk nonsense. What can I think? Compared to setting fire to the City Lord's mansion, he would rather kill 2 Yin-Yang Demon Lords. It's getting late now, shouldn't we? Iron Tiger immediately reacted and nodded. Yes. Then I'll take my leave, goodbye. With that, he hurriedly turned and left. Zhou Fu was speechless as he watched. Hall Master Tai, this thing. He pointed at the corpse not far away. Oh, I forgot. Iron Tiger pointed at a few gang members and asked them to deal with it. Then, he left with the rest. The next day morning, young Master Bai is awake. He wants to see you. Zhou Fu, who was about to go home, was stunned. He almost forgot about this person. He's awake? Bring me there. Yes. Last night, Zhou Fu's house was destroyed, so he got people to clean up 2 guest rooms. One was for Zhou Fu and the other was for Bai Lang. After entering the room, Zhou Fu immediately saw Bai Lang lying on the bed. Brother Bai, you're awake? Bai Lang looked up with an excited expression. Brother Zhou. Seeing his mysterious store so excited, Zhou Fu smiled. Brother Bai, don't be so excited. Speak slowly. You're still injured. Bai Lang nodded. They were too ruthless. Not only did they hit my face, but they also broke a few of my ribs. They were too cruel. These words made Zhou Fu feel a little awkward. If he remembered correctly, the injury on Bai Lang's chest should be caused by him. However, it was hard to say. That, Brother Bai, I've already dealt with the person who did it. Yes, he had already dealt with him. He had already killed the Yin Yang Demon Lord. Bai Lang was stunned and suddenly felt touched. Thank you, Brother Zhou. You're really my benefactor. Ha. Brother Bai, you're too polite. After the two of them exchanged pleasantries, Bai Lang looked at Zhou Fu as if he had something to say. Zhou Fu's heart skipped a beat. He asked, Brother Bai, do you have something to say? Bai Lang was a little embarrassed. Brother Zhou, you can tell. In that case, I'll be thick-skinned and say it. Brother Bai, just be straightforward. I wonder what's the relationship between Hung Yun Gambling House and Brother Zhou. Zhou Fu smiled and said, Brother Bai, I've embarrassed myself in front of you. Hung Yun Gambling House is one of the businesses of my Zhou family. You still want to embarrass me? Such low-key and boastful words made Bai Lang feel suffocated. To be honest, he also wanted to be ridiculed like this. Brother Zhou. Looking at Bai Lang's embarrassed expression, Zhou Fu smiled and said, By the way, Brother Bai, I've helped you pay off your debt to the gambling house. Bai Lang's face fell. That was not what he meant. No, Brother Zhou. Bai Lang seemed to be very anxious. Don't be anxious. Speak slowly. Sigh. To tell you the truth, Brother Zhou, something happened to my family, and I need 5,000 taels of silver. I only have 2,000 taels of silver. Speaking of this, Bai Lang raised his head and looked at Zhou Fu with a pitiful expression. However, Zhou Fu was not an ordinary person. Some of the people he saw on the internet back then were more pitiful than Bai Lang was now. Most of those people were shabbily dressed in front of him, but they had good cars and good wine. Seeing that Zhou Fu was unmoved, Bai Lang continued, I'm not the kind of person who casually borrows money, but this time is different. Really? Zhou Fu smiled faintly and asked, then, Brother Bai, what do you want to say? Brother Zhou. Bai Lang's eyes were filled with sincerity. I wonder if Brother Zhou can give that 2,000 taels of silver to... At the end of this sentence, his voice could no longer be heard. At this moment, Bai Lang lowered his head and seemed to be very sad. Zhou Fu smiled. Brother Bai, if this gambling house was my Zhou family's own business, I would naturally give you 2,000 taels of silver without you saying anything. Unfortunately, this is someone else's business. My Zhou family is here to help. Brother Zhou, are you joking? Zhou Fu shook his head. Brother Bai, my Zhou family is a family of merchants. We have always been amiable, not to mention beating people. We won't even quarrel with customers. Then, he pointed at the injuries on Bai Lang's body, indicating that these had nothing to do with his Zhou family. Bai Lang opened his mouth, and a trace of despair appeared in his eyes. He lowered his head, and his brain was spinning rapidly. Suddenly, he raised his head, and his eyes were shining. Brother Bai, do you still accept martial arts manuals? The corners of Zhou Fu's mouth curled up slightly. Of course. Bai Lang was overjoyed. He quickly reached into his arms, fumbled around, and took out a package. He opened it. Iron Bone Secret Scroll. Chapter 48. Brother Zhou, take a look at this manual. Zhou Fu took it and looked at it carefully. Brother Zhou, this cultivation method is not something that the bronze armor method can compare to. Oh, what's the meaning of this martial art? Bai Lang's eyes lit up. As long as you're curious, you're halfway to success. Today's martial arts are divided into 4 levels: heaven, earth, black, and yellow. Each level is further divided into 3 grades. The bronze armor manual and the mountain breaking fist are yellow stage martial arts. They're commonly circulated in the underworld. Speaking of this, Bai Lang's face was a little awkward. But don't be angry, Brother Zhou. Yellow stage martial arts are very suitable for ordinary people. Zhou Fu nodded and smiled. It's okay, Brother Bai, please continue. Seeing that Zhou Fu was not angry, Bai Lang felt a lot more at ease and continued. But this yellow stage martial art is different. It's very rare to see it in the underworld. Even if you see it, it'll be fought over. Ordinary people can't get it. This type of martial art is usually the cornerstone of the underworld. Zhou Fu laughed. Brother Bai, don't lie to me. This middle-grade martial art is considered the cornerstone? Hearing Zhou Fu's words, Bai Lang's expression was not surprised. Brother Zhou, listen to my explanation. If you want to join a sect, of course, you have to exclude those famous sections. In ordinary sects, ordinary people can only start with yellow stage martial arts or even non-mainstream martial arts. You have to succeed in cultivating a low-grade martial art and contribute to the sect before you have the chance to cultivate a middle-grade martial art. Brother Zhou, don't underestimate these middle-grade martial arts. Those who can cultivate these martial arts will become important figures in their respective sects in the future. This statement made Zhou Fu very surprised. A middle-grade yellow stage martial art could take up an important position? Bai Lang saw that Zhou Fu still did not believe him and continued. If Brother Zhou still doesn't believe me, you can go and confirm it. I believe that there are also worshippers in the Zhou family. Zhou Fu nodded in agreement. Brother Zhou, do you know that those people usually have their own sects? You can ask around. Zhou Fu laughed and said, Brother Bai, you misunderstand. How could I doubt you? How about this? How much does Brother Bai intend to sell this cultivation technique for? 5,000. I can't afford it. Zhou Fu wrapped the secret manual again and placed it in front of Bai Lang. Bai Lang was stunned. This scene was so familiar. Brother Zhou, 5,000 taels really isn't expensive. Brother Bai, the cultivation method of this iron bone secret scroll seems to be more demanding than the bronze armor art. That's right. This is a middle-grade cultivation technique. Zhou Fu revealed a wry smile. Brother White, no one even practiced the bronze armor art, let alone this iron bone secret scroll. Also, the bronze armor art from last time seems to be missing something, right? This, Bai Lang immediately reacted with an awkward expression on his face. What was missing from bronze armor? Of course, it was medicinal wine. That thing could be said to be the soul of the bronze armor art. Brother Zhou, the recipe for the medicinal wine was indeed lost. I didn't do it on purpose. Zhou Fu smiled and said, It's okay, it's all in the past. And at that time, I also said that it doesn't matter if I lose money or not. I just want to make friends. Brother Zhou is generous. Bai Lang gave a thumbs up. Actually, this yellow stage cultivation technique has another advantage. Oh, Brother Zhou, if you can cultivate this iron bone secret scroll, then the bronze armor art will naturally be able to skip the restriction of medicinal wine. After saying that, he even raised his eyebrows at Zhou Fu. This expression made Zhou Fu almost hit him. There were purple and blue circles around his eyes, and some parts of his face were red and swollen. With this kind of appearance, he still raised his eyebrows. Zhou Fu pretended to be in a difficult position and said, Brother Bai, it's not that I want to take it. I can take it, but if I cultivate it, it's probably the same as the bronze armor art. I can only put it on the shelf. I really want to help Brother Bai, but I don't want to waste money like this. Bai Lang held a wrapped secret manual in his hand. He felt really helpless. He lowered his head and frowned. The room was quiet for a moment. After a while, Zhou Fu got up and said goodbye. Brother Bai, you can rest and recover first. I still have some things to do at home. If there's anything, you can tell the servants. I'll take my leave first. After saying that, Zhou Fu turned around and was about to leave. Bai Lang came back to his senses and hurriedly said, Brother Zhou, take care. Huh? Zhou Fu turned around and asked in surprise, Brother Bai, is there anything else? This. Bai Lang opened his mouth, as if he hadn't made up his mind. Seeing this, Zhou Fu's eyes flashed. It seemed that this Bai Lang really had some good stuff that he didn't take out. He had already arranged for someone to search him yesterday, but they didn't find anything. Brother Bai, there's no rush. You can think about it slowly. If there's anything, just look for me. After saying that, he was about to leave again. At this moment, a trace of determination flashed in Bai Lang's eyes. Brother Zhou, can I trust you? With his back facing Bai Lang, Zhou Fu's lips curled up. He thought to himself, the mysterious store is open. Brother Bai, what are you talking about? Don't you know how I, Zhou Fu, am like? Bai Lang nodded. He still believed in Zhou Fu's character. It would be better if Zhou Fu was dumber. I still have a cultivation method. Oh, Brother Bai wants to sell it too? Bai Lang shook his head. Zhou Fu asked in surprise, Brother Bai, what do you mean? Bai Lang said, I can teach this cultivation method to Brother Zhou, but you have to promise me that you won't tell others. Zhou Fu rolled his eyes. It seemed that this was good stuff. The yellow stage, earth intermediate cultivation method was already sold, but now he said that he couldn't tell others. Interesting. Can't tell others. This, Bai Lang hurriedly said, Brother Zhou, this is really my bottom line. Zhou Fu nodded. All right, what cultivation method is it that makes Brother Bai so cautious? Cautious? Bai Lang shook his head. Earth stage. Earth stage. This time, Zhou Fu was shocked. Damn, this was too big of a surprise. Nope, it's not Earth stage now. Bai Lang hurriedly corrected him. If it was really an Earth stage cultivation method, he wouldn't dare to take it out. This time, it was Zhou Fu's turn to frown. Brother Bai, are you sure I can afford this cultivation method? Don't worry, Brother Zhou can definitely afford it. Bai Lang helped him confirm. Nonsense. If he couldn't afford it, why would he say it? There weren't many customers like Zhou Fu in the entire Heiyang city. Then how much do you want to sell it for? 10,000 taels. 10,000 taels. Zhou Fu instantly widened his eyes. It wasn't because this cultivation method was expensive, but because it was too cheap. Bai Lang nodded fiercely. Yes, 10,000 taels. Brother Bai, don't lie to me. According to Brother Bai, 10,000 taels can't buy a cultivation method of this level. Yes. Bai Lang continued to nod. This time, Zhou Fu didn't understand. With Bai Lang's personality, he wasn't someone who would make a loss. It's just that this cultivation method has some flaws. What flaws? This is the general outline of a cultivation method, so Zhou Fu instantly understood. General outline. The general outline isn't worth 10,000 taels. How can that be? This is an Earth stage cultivation method. Zhou Fu shook his head. Brother Bai, do I look like a martial arts genius to you? After hearing Zhou Fu's words, Bai Lang really looked at Zhou Fu and finally said, Brother Zhou, you're a dragon among men. This evaluation made Zhou Fu roll his eyes. To hell with Elder Niu. You're a dragon among men. Your whole family is a dragon among men. Brother Bai, you're flattering me. I, Zhou Fu, know what I'm capable of. The value of a general outline can't be revealed to outsiders. To me, it's really not that useful. Bai Lang shook his head seriously and refuted. No, it's very useful. Chapter 49. This technique is divided into the general outline, the first volume, and the second volume. Together, it's an Earth-level technique. However, decades ago, the second volume of this technique was lost. The general outline and the first volume exist in the pugilistic world, so it can't be considered an Earth-level technique. Its level dropped by half a level, and it can only be considered a mystic technique. Zhou Fu frowned. Brother Bai, you mean that this is an incomplete technique? Yes. Bai Lang explained. Brother Bai, don't underestimate this technique. Although I only have the general outline, it can help Brother Zhou to cultivate the bronze armor technique and the Iron Bone secret scroll. Oh, Zhou Fu looked at Bai Lang in surprise and asked, if it's so magical, why don't you cultivate it yourself? This, Bai Lang's expression changed. Brother Zhou, I have my own difficulties. I can sell this technique and pass it to others, but I can't cultivate it. Oh, there's such a thing? To be honest, Zhou Fu didn't believe it. However, it didn't matter. He had a cheat. Whether the technique was real or fake, he could test it out. Okay, I believe Brother Bai. However, I have to see the technique first. As for how much it is and whether it's worth 10,000 taels, I'll know after I see it. Bai Lang nodded. He had enough money to ask for 10,000 taels. If he could really sell it for that much, not only would it solve his current problem, but it would also allow him to live comfortably for a period of time. Then, Bai Lang began to take off his clothes. This time, Zhou Fu couldn't stay calm. He hurriedly said, "Brother Bai, you don't have to." Bai Lang raised his head in surprise, but his hands didn't stop moving. He continued to unbutton his clothes. "What do you mean, Brother Zhou?" "Brother Bai, you're King scaring me. Do you know that?" At this time, Bai Lang had already taken off his outer clothes and continued to take off his inner clothes. "Oh, I put the technique inside my clothes." "Brother Zhou, don't misunderstand." Zhou Fu nodded blankly. Needless to say, this guy was very smart. He actually hid the technique so well. He took off his underwear, then grabbed his clothes with both hands and tore them. Whoosh! A thin booklet fell out. "Brother Zhou, this is the one. I can't tell you the original name, so I came up with a new name. It's called Dragon Embracing Pillar." "Dragon Embracing Stance?" Zhou Fu repeated. "Yes, Dragon Embracing Stance." Bai Lang explained, "Brother Zhou, do you know that hard body skills like the art of bronze armor and the secret manual of iron bone have requirement for the cultivator's physique at every level? This cultivation technique can strengthen one's physique. As long as Brother Zhou perseveres in training, it won't take long. In a month, Brother Zhou will naturally be able to master the art of bronze armor. As for the iron bone secret scroll, it will probably take half a year." Zhou Fu raised his eyebrows. "So magical?" Bai Lang smiled and said, "That's of course. This is the general outline of an Earth tier cultivation method. Earth rank. This is something that many people in Jianghu yearn for even in their dreams. Naturally, it has its magical aspects." Zhou Fu did not listen to Bai Lang's boasting and continued to flip through the secret manual. He always felt that Bai Lang was a scammer. As the saying goes, Old Wong praises herself for selling melons. Who wouldn't say that their own things were good? Zhou Fu flipped through for a while and asked in surprise, "Brother Bai, isn't this general outline also missing something?" "Ah." Bai Lang looked at Zhou Fu in a daze. How could he tell? This. He. "Brother Zhou, you can tell?" This sentence directly made Zhou Fu laugh in anger. "Brother Bai, I treat you as a brother and helped you pay off the debt of 2,000 taels of silver. Aren't you a little too much?" Just as Zhou Fu reached the end, he realized that a part was missing. This cultivation technique that Bai Lang named the Dragon Embracing Stance had a total of 5 pages. 2 pages of the general outline, 2 pages of explanations, and a picture. After that, there was nothing else. According to the general outline, there should be 3 pictures. Brother Bai, the original 3 pictures have become 1. Are you still planning to sell it at the price of a profound tier cultivation method? This. Bai Lang's brain spun rapidly. Brother Zhou, the introduction and explanations of the last 2 pictures are all in there. Moreover, I feel that with Brother Zhou's talent, it shouldn't be a problem to derive the last 2 pictures. Zhou Fu directly rolled his eyes at this kind of compliment. "Brother Bai, you must be joking. With my abilities, I can derive an Earth tier cultivation method. Let's be frank. If it's just like this cultivation method, together with the secret manual of iron bones, isn't worth 10,000 taels of silver." Bai Lang was a little anxious. This was related to the quality of his life in the future. He had to fight for it. "How can that be?" "Brother Zhou, this is a real Earth tier cultivation method. I'm not lying to you." "Crippled. Brother Bai, this is crippled." Zhou Fu didn't know whether to laugh or cry as he looked at the other party. To him, this already didn't matter because the Flying Immortal had already successfully added this cultivation method. "Brother Zhou," Bai Lang looked at Zhou Fu and said in a deep voice, "You saved my life. I'll remember this in my heart. However, this money is related to the life of a very important person. I can only do this." "What do you mean?" Bai Lang's expression froze, and he said dryly, I need money. A very important person to me is sick. I need medicine. It's very expensive. Hearing this reason, Zhou Fu's expression was very strange. You're saying that you want to buy medicine, but you don't have enough money? Yes. So please forgive me, young Master Zhou. No, no, no. It's fine, it's fine. I wonder if Brother Bai remembers the prescription? This time, it was Bai Lang's turn to be surprised. Of course I remember. Can you let me take a look? Hearing this request, Bai Lang's expression didn't look too good. Zhou Fu was obviously suspecting him. All right, since that's the case, I'll write it out for young Master Zhou to see. Zhou Fu asked someone to bring a brush and ink. Bai Lang angrily grabbed the brush and began to write. All right, please take a look, young Master Zhou. Zhou Fu smiled faintly as he took the prescription, then handed it to Manager Liao, who had rushed over. Manager Liao bowed, then retreated out of the door, turned around, and left. Bai Lang was surprised and asked, "What does young Master Zhou mean by this?" Zhou Fu smiled and said, "Brother Bai, you said you were my friend before. As a friend, you don't even know what my family does? Could it be?" Bai Lang was excited. "In this Heong city, my Zhou family has some ability in terms of medicinal herbs. It's my fault. It's my fault. I'll apologize to young Master Zhou." Bai Lang was very excited. It seemed that he could get medicinal herbs for free. It's fine, it's fine. The two chatted for a while. Manager Liao walked in and told Zhou Fu the price of these herbs, then left again. Zhou Fu nodded to Bai Lang. "Brother Bai, I can provide you with these herbs, but we have to talk about the price of these skills." Bai Lang's heart sank. "Young Master Zhou, please say, for these 2 skills, I can only give you 2,000 taels. 2,000 taels? Bai Lang stared at Zhou Fu in disbelief. "Yes, 2,000 taels. I've already cleared Brother Bai's debt. Adding these 2,000 taels and the herbs, it's already quite a lot." Bai Lang opened his mouth. He was very disappointed. He had failed to get the herbs for free. Even going out to play had become a problem. Zhou Fu stood up, took the 2 manuals, and said, "Brother Bai, I'll leave first. Rest well. As for the money, someone will send it over in a while." With that, Zhou Fu turned and left the room, heading straight for the Zhou mansion. Chapter 50. In the study of the Zhou residence. Zhou Datsai was sitting on a chair with a tired face. Behind him, a maid was massaging his temples. "Father, are you all right?" Zhou Fu asked with concern. "I'm fine," Zhou Datsai replied, and waved his hand to dismiss the maid. "Did something happen at the gambling house last night?" Last night, not long after the incident at the gambling house, Zhou Datsai received the news. After receiving the news, he hurriedly called for the consecrators and guards to rush to the gambling house to protect Zhou Fu. When the guardian arrived, the incident at the gambling house was already over. Zhou Fu was also safe and sound. Hence, he came back and told Zhou Datsai what happened. Zhou Fu shook his head. "Just a small matter. It's already settled." "Small matter. All right, you're not hurt, right?" "No." "That's good." Zhou Datsai slowly sat up. Looking at Zhou Fu, who was much stronger than before, he was filled with emotions. This feeling was like finding out in the blink of an eye that his child had grown up. "Fu, are you really going to embark on the path of martial arts?" Zhou Fu nodded. "Yes, didn't you ask me this before?" Zhou Datsai was silent for a while and said, "If you want to practice martial arts, Heong City is not suitable. It's too small. If you want to make a name for yourself, you have to go out." "Go out?" Zhou Fu looked at his father in surprise. "Yes." "Where to?" "Fengyang Prefecture's capital, Ning and Ning'an." Zhou Fu thought for a while. He had no recollection of it. It seemed like he had never been there before. Seeing Zhou Fu's confused expression, Zhou Datsai smiled. "On one hand, it's for you to study. On the other hand, it's for you to broaden your horizons. Heong City is too small." "Too small?" These words made Zhou Fu shiver. He looked at Zhou Datsai in surprise. He did not expect him to be so domineering. Heong City only has a population of 1 million. Ning'an City has a population of 10 million. 10 million? Zhou Fu's eyes widened. Good heavens, 10 million people. This was the population standard of a first-tier city. In this era without technology, He couldn't imagine what a city with a population of tens of millions would look like. Seeing the change in Zhou Fu's expression, Zhou Datsai smiled and said, "How is it? Shall we go and take a look? You have to know that the famous sects of our country of Liang have properties in Ning'an. It's a good place for you to learn martial arts." This time, Zhou Fu understood what was going on. He was asking him to leave Heiyang City. "Father, when do you want me to go?" 2 months later, all the big sects will be recruiting new disciples. However, you can go ahead of time, just a few days later. Our family's business is also in Ning'an City. After you go there, your life will be guaranteed. Zhou Fu raised his head in surprise. These words were more or less the same as making arrangements for his funeral. At this moment, Zhou Datsai also realized that his words were somewhat discouraging. Cough, cough. He coughed dryly and changed the topic. "Pack up in the next 2 days. Someone will send you to the prefectural city. You go ahead, I'll rest for a while." After leaving the study, Zhou Fu called for the butler Old Ma and asked, "Did my father go out today?" Old Ma replied, "Early this morning, people from the government came. After that, the old master went out with them." The government? Zhou Fu instantly thought of the fire pillar that reached the sky last night. Why did the government look for my father? Could it be that they think that the fire last night was set by us? Cough, cough. Young master, you must be joking. Hearing Zhou Fu's words, Old Ma smiled bitterly. "It's not just our Zhou family. In Heiyang City, all the reputable families have gone there." All of them? What did they do? They asked all the families to work together to find the culprit. Zhou Fu opened his eyes wide and asked in shock, "The person who set the fire escaped." What a guy. After setting the governor's mansion on fire, he could still escape. That was impressive. Old Ma nodded first, and then shook his head. "I'm not sure about that." Zhou Fu rolled his eyes and asked, "Can we go there now?" "Young master, you want to go to the governor's mansion?" Old Ma opened his eyes wide. "Young master, it's better not to go. There's still many guards there. Anyone who goes there will be questioned." After saying that, he looked at Zhou Fu worriedly, afraid that he would go there to watch the show. It was better not to watch such a show like the governor's mansion being set on fire. Zhou Fu nodded. Don't worry, I won't go. I'll leave first." As soon as he stepped out of the door, a servant ran over. Young Master Liu of the Liu family is here." "Who?" "Zhenbao Pavilion's Liu family, young Master Liu Tong." "Where is he?" "He's waiting for you in your courtyard." "Got it." When Zhou Fugong returned to his courtyard, Liu Tong walked over with a beaming face. "Ha ha ha. I came uninvited. Please forgive me. Brother Liu is too polite. Please." The two went to the living room and sat down. The smile on Liu Tong's face disappeared. "Brother Zhou, there's something I'd like to tell you." Zhou Fu waved the servant away and asked curiously, "Brother Liu, what's the matter?" "Brother Zhou, someone came to my house last night." Liu Tong stared at Zhou Fu with a "this is big" written all over his face. However, this sentence confused Zhou Fu. What does it have to do with me if someone came to your house? Seeing that Zhou Fu didn't respond, Liu Tong repeated, "Brother Zhou, someone came to my house last night." Towards the end, his voice got lower and lower, and his tone got heavier and heavier. Someone came. He was afraid that Zhou Fu didn't understand. For a moment, Zhou Fu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Brother Liu, why did someone come to your house?" This time, Liu Tong was anxious. "Oh, my brother Liu." Liu Tong hurriedly gestured. It was unknown if he didn't dare to say it or if there was a problem with his expression, but Zhou Fu understood that he was lonely. Brother Liu, don't be anxious. There are only the two of us in this room. Let's talk things over." Liu Tong sighed. He felt that Zhou Fu's intelligence couldn't keep up with his expression. "Brother Liu, you should know that something happened in the City Lord Manor last night, right?" Zhou Fu rolled his eyes. If one wasn't blind and deaf, they would definitely know. "Not only the City Lord Manor, something happened in my house as well." Zhou Fu's heart stirred. "Oh." Liu Tong moved closer to Zhou Fu and pressed his arm on the coffee table. He lowered his body and said in a soft voice, "Last night, a group of black-robed men rushed into my house and headed straight for the treasure vault. In the end, the guards and consecrators of my house all joined in. Many people died before the black-robed men were forced to retreat. Also, I feel that these people came for the bright king diagram. What? Zhou Fu's eyes widened. Lu Tong straightened his body and nodded at Zhou Fu. I came this time to inform the Zhou clan to be more vigilant at night. That day, only the three of us went to Guiyun Temple. Huang Jia's family was wiped out, and my house was invaded by black-robed men. The next one is probably the Zhou clan. Zhou Fu took a deep breath and cupped his hands. Thank you for your reminder, Brother Lu. The Zhou clan will definitely thank you. Don't mention it. Brother Zhou is treating me like an outsider. Lu Tong waved his hand. Brother Zhou also saved me before. Let's not talk about these polite words. Now that I've delivered the message, I'll go back first. Zhou Fu stood up and cupped his hands. Take care, Brother Lu. After Lu Tong left, Zhou Fu went to find Zhou Datsai and told him what happened just now. Zhou Datsai was silent for a long time before he said, I'll make arrangements in the manor. You go and rest first. I'll send you to Ning and City the day after tomorrow. Chapter 51. 2 days later, Zhou Fu finished his morning exercise. Just as he wiped the sweat off his forehead, a servant ran in from outside the courtyard. Young master, I've packed everything. Zhou Fu nodded and took a deep breath. He expanded his chest and stretched his back. His blood and qi flowed, and a strong feeling came from his heart. Awesome. Every muscle on his body seemed to be pulsing, exuding the vitality and strength of life. Okay, I know. I'll leave after breakfast. Zhou Fu just turned around when the servant said, Young master, the old master specially ordered that breakfast can be eaten on the road. Huh? He turned around and looked at the servant in surprise. This is my father's order? The servant quickly nodded. His face was full of panic. Young master, I don't dare to lie. The old master really said so. It wasn't that Zhou Fu was suspicious, but this sentence was too unexpected. However, Zhou Fu usually wouldn't object to Zhou Datsai's arrangements. Even with the help of a cheat, Zhou Fu didn't get too arrogant. He didn't think that there was nothing in the world that he couldn't solve. Okay, I'll change my clothes. After 15 minutes, Zhou Fu arrived at the place where he got on the carriage. Before boarding, he looked at the door of his house and suddenly felt a little uncomfortable. He didn't know where this feeling came from, but it was very annoying. Young master, it's time to go. Okay. Zhou Fu turned around and got on the carriage. The horse's hooves began to beat on the ground. The carriage swayed. Zhou Fu sighed, calmed his mood, and formed a seal with his hands. This seal technique was learned from the Buddha's shadow in his mind. This seal was very magical. When the body was still, the seal could push the blood and qi in the body to slowly improve the body's constitution. This was discovered by Zhou Fu by chance. When he meditated to form the seal and then cultivated, his strength and endurance were slightly higher than usual. Therefore, he persevered. The scenery outside the carriage slowly retreated from unfamiliar to familiar, and a landmark building appeared in front of him. Cinnamon House. Zhou Fu's heart skipped a beat. Should he go and say goodbye? After all, that little lowly had helped him a lot. Stop. The carriage stopped. Young master, what are your orders? Zhou Fu got off the carriage and instructed, You guys wait here for a moment. I'm going to say goodbye to a friend. After saying that, he turned around and walked in his sweet cinnamon brothel. The surrounding servants and guards were all dumbfounded. A friend from the sweet fragrance brothel? What unique reason. Lotus Fragrance Court. Yo little, who was just about to call Zhou Fu little fatty, was stunned. She couldn't bring herself to say the word fatty no matter what. The current Zhou Fu was like a completely different person compared to a month ago. The thick layer of fat on his body had been replaced by lean muscles, and his body had shrunk by 3 times. His height had also changed. He was now half a head taller than before. He was now about 1.8 meters tall. The corners of his face were revealed. His facial features were regular, and his eyes were bright and spirited. He was truly a good-looking man. This verified the saying that every fat student had potential. Yer was stunned for a while. She kept looking at Zhou Fu and praised, I haven't seen you for a few days. Young Master Zhou seems to have changed into another person. Zhou Fu laughed. With the support of several hard body skills, if he still had fat on his body, how fat would he have to be? Recently, I've been focusing on martial arts. I've been more diligent. Fewer, clutched her stomach and laughed. Focusing on martial arts. Ha ha, I'm dying of laughter. When the big shots are laughing at you, just listen with peace of mind. Zhou Fu smiled faintly. His hands unconsciously formed a hand seal. Hand seal? Where did you learn it? Zhou Fu stretched out his hand. His fingers changed and formed a hand seal. Then he gently pushed it out. A few days ago, I went to burn incense with my family. An eminent monk taught me that it has the effect of promoting blood circulation and strengthening the body. He told me to practice it often. Looking at the hand seal, Yer blinked a few times in disgust and snorted, "Humph. Annoying bald donkey. You're not allowed to form hand seals in front of me. If you want to practice it, do it outside." Oh, okay. Zhou Fu let go of his hand. What brings young Master Zhou here so early in the morning? Let me say this first. If you dare to ask for martial arts, I'll beat you up. Needless to say, Zhou Fu really did plan to do that. If he could get a few martial arts from this little lowly before he left, that would be perfect. Haha, no. Zhou Fu waved his hand. I'm here this time to say goodbye to Miss You. Goodbye. Yu looked at Zhou Fu in surprise. You're leaving? Zhou Fu nodded, yes. My father asked me to participate in the sect trial. He said that I have a chance to join one of those famous sections. Famous sects? Oomph. Yuer's tone was disdainful. All right, it's good to go out and see the world. It's better than staying in Haiyang City. Then, Yuer rolled her eyes. You're leaving now? Yes, the carriage is just outside. You really know how to choose the time. This sentence made Zhou Fu's heart skip a beat. Miss Yuer, what do you mean? Yuer thought for a while and did not explain. It's good to leave early. Haiyang City is not peaceful recently. Not peaceful? Why are you asking so many questions? Aren't you leaving? Hurry up and remember to be careful on the road. Hearing that the little lowly was chasing him away, Zhou Fu stood up and said goodbye. Then, I'll leave now. Take care, Miss Yuer. The wheels rolled and the carriage wobbled out of Haiyang City. It followed the official road and headed north. That was the direction of Ning and City. As the carriage went further and further, there were fewer people on the road. On both sides of the official road, the forest grew thicker. The coachman and the guards also became alert. Although the area around Haiyang City was dominated by the Black Mountain Bandits, there were still many small groups of bandits. Anyway, it was a dangerous job. If they ran after robbing, the Black Mountain Bandits might not be able to catch up. The carriage continued to move forward, and the coachman increased the speed. On both sides of the road, the terrain changed. It gradually rose and fell, and the mountains in the distance came into view. Young master, if you're hungry, eat some dry food first. We can reach the small town in front of us by sunset. Okay, I know. The guard words made Zhou Fu a little surprised. It seemed that the incident in Haiyang City was not simple. His father was so anxious that he did not even take a rest in the afternoon. What on earth did they release? Boom! There was a loud sound. Shouts could be heard from all directions. What happened? Zhou Fu opened the curtain and got off the carriage. A guard walked over. Young master, the tree in front of us fell. It was man-made. Man-made? Zhou Fu's eyes flashed. Black Mountain Bandits. These three words appeared in his mind. The guard continued. Young master, it's not safe here. Get on the carriage first. Don't worry, we can solve this. Before Zhou Fu could say anything, a large group of people rushed out from the forest on both sides of the road. They rushed forward and surrounded the carriage. Ha! Let me see. Wasn't this a King Big Fish? Ha! The Zhou family. It's the Zhou family from Haiyang City. Clang! The 10 guards in the carriage pulled out their swords to protect themselves. They surrounded the servants and Zhou Fu in the middle. Hey. You still want to resist? Ha! A Black Mountain bandit with a scar on his face and a bare chest walked out. It seemed like he was the leader of these people. Is that young Master Zhou from the Zhou family in Haiyang City? Chapter 52. Zhou Fu stood in the middle of the crowd, in the center of the guards, and was very conspicuous. When the Black Mountain bandit pointed out his name, all the servants looked over. The man laughed. So it's young Master Zhou. I am Chun Danian of the Black Mountain Bandit. I would like to invite young Master Zhou for a few days of sightseeing in the mountains. What do you think? Zhou Fu was very surprised. A bandit could say something like that? If he was not influenced by his environment or educated, he would not say something like that. And such a person became a bandit, and a strong one at that. There was something fishy going on here. Chun Danian saw that Zhou Fu did not reply, but he was not angry. He continued, "Young Master Zhou, the second young master of your house is also in our village. He misses you a lot. A steel knife and a hostage, a double threat. Is that so?" Zhou Fu grinned. "I won't be going to the mountain stronghold. I'll have to trouble Chief Chun to pass a message to my younger brother. Tell him that his family misses him very much. Tell him to stop playing and hurry home." Seeing that Zhou Fu did not take the bait, the smile on Chun Danian's face disappeared. His face darkened, and his eyes became fierce. A faint murderous aura appeared around his body. This Chun Danian had killed before. He had killed quite a number of people. The leader of the guards was an old man. He immediately saw that Chun Danian was not an ordinary person. He was a tough nut to crack. But this place was quite a distance away from Haiyang City. Even if they rode on horses, it would take at least 2 hours. This was the kind of place that was in the middle of nowhere. "Young master, if there's a chance later, you should run." The leader of the guard stood beside Zhou Fu and said in a low voice. Zhou Fu looked at him speechlessly. Zhou Fu knew this person. Not only did he know him, but he also asked him for advice on martial arts. The leader saw the look in Zhou Fu's eyes, and his heart sank. What kind of look was that? Not only was he not afraid, he was eager to try. At this moment, the guard leader understood. His young master wanted to go up and fight with the bandits. After thinking it through, a layer of cold sweat appeared on his forehead. What kind of situation was this? Why was this little ancestor's brain cramping up? How could someone like you, who had only practiced martial arts for 2 days, defeat that mountain bandit? "Young master, you're still young and haven't practiced martial arts for long. You're not his match yet." Zhou Fu almost rolled his eyes when he heard this. However, it was not surprising. After Zhou Fu started practicing martial arts, Zhou Datsai had suppressed all of his results. He did not allow anyone to spread them, much less talk about them. As for Zhou Fu's diligent cultivation, no one took it seriously. If he could succeed in just a few months of hard work, what was the point of having those famous sects? At this moment, the scene was completely silent. No one spoke. Chun Danian took a deep breath. His little bit of patience had been used up. The long saber vibrated and slashed at the air. "Since great young Master Zhou doesn't want to give me face, then don't blame me for my methods." "Kill! Kill! Kill! Kill!" Orderly shouts resounded through the sky, startling countless birds. Zhou Fu focused his gaze and looked at a few special mountain bandits in the crowd. There were 6 of them, with Chun Danian as their leader. Their hands were on the long saber, and their eyes were resolute. They were the ones who made the orderly shouts. There's something wrong with these people. They don't seem like mountain bandits. Just as Zhou Fu was surprised, the mountain bandits swarmed toward them. Chun Danian and the 6 people did not move. They just stood there coldly. "Everyone, don't panic. Guards, get into formation." The leader of the Zhou family's guards used to be an old escort. It was said that he had learned some things from a retired soldier. Under the leader's command, the guards held shields in their left hands and sabers in their right. They blocked the first wave of attack from the mountain bandits. As the sabers flashed, they even cut down 5 or 6 mountain bandits. The Zhou family's guard were allowed to hold shields because of Daoyang's strange rule. Other than the army, they were not allowed to have bows, armor, or siege weapons. Nothing else mattered. Looking at the mountain bandits' clumsy attacks, Chun Danian frowned. "Bastards, are you all idiots? There's only 10 of them. Go around them." The mountain bandits looked at the 10 or so unlucky people lying on the ground and came to a realization. "Brothers, kill. Go around them and chop them. Go around them." There were also a few who drew inferences. "Brothers on the ground, those who are not dead, chop off their ankles." With Chun Danian's reminder, there were still more than 20 mountain bandits left standing. They instantly broke through the guards' line of defense. Blood splattered everywhere. 3 of the guards screamed and fell to the ground. The surrounding mountain bandits rushed forward and killed them amidst their hideous laughter. The situation took a turn for the worse. The leader of the guards hurriedly said, "Young master, that bandit leader is a disaster. I'll bring 2 of my brothers to kill him. Otherwise, we won't be able to leave today." Zhou Fu could tell that the leader of the guards was no match for Chun Danian. He was about to say something to stop him. However, the leader of the guards suddenly rushed out. "2 of you, come with me to kill that bandit leader." Kill. The leader of the guards was indeed an experienced person. As he rushed forward, he continuously slashed with the long saber in his hand. 6 mountain bandits fell to the ground. Behind him, the 2 guards raised their shields to block the surrounding attacks. The long sabers in their hands slashed at the mountain bandits on the ground. All the mountain bandits who were cut down by the leader of the guards lost their lives. Chun Danian sneered when he saw someone rushing towards him. "Are you planning to behead me? Ha ha! You have the heart to take the enemy's head. I just don't know if you have the life to do so." He waved his hand to stop his subordinates who were about to rush forward. He just watched as the Zhou family's guards rushed in front of him. "Good timing. Let me see if you have the strength to do so." Chun Danian roared and slashed down with a long saber in his hand. Boom! It was a loud sound. The guard who had raised a shield to block the attack let out a miserable shriek as he was sent flying through the air. The shield that blocked the long saber also shattered into pieces when it came into contact with the blade. What? The leader of the guards was horrified. The 7 people standing opposite him had a disdainful smile on their faces. They looked at the 2 of them mockingly. "You have guts, but your ability is a little lacking." Chun Danian put away his saber and stood up. He stroked the blade with his left hand. "Since you all have come for me, allow me to send you all down." A gust of wind blew. The white clouds moved quickly and the sun shone down. A cold light flashed. "My life is over." The leader of the guards looked at the cold light in horror. A layer of goosebumps appeared on his neck. This was where the saber came from. He tried his best to block it, but the saber was too fast. "Leader Chun, let me play with you." A powerful aura rose in the crowd. Before Chun Danian could react, a series of screams sounded. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw several figures flying out while screaming in pain. Blood mist sprayed out in the air. "Mountain Splitter!" Zhou Fu shouted and took a step forward. His body suddenly turned into a shadow. Before Chun Danian's long saber landed, he felt a strong gust of wind attacking his body. If he did not dodge, then this punch would have taken his life. "Withdraw the saber. Turn around." Clang! Bang! The saber shook violently. A huge force came, and a long saber, made of fine iron, shattered. Zhou Fu's fist broke through the saber and hit Chun Danian's left rib. Crack! The familiar sound of bones breaking was heard. This punch broke several bones. Puff! Blood spurted out from Chun Danian's mouth as he flew backward. "Leader! Protect the leader!"